This is Breckinridge County Fighting Tiger football on 104.3 The River. Coverage is brought to you by Brandenburg Telecom, Breckinridge County Health Department, Breckinridge Health, First State Bank, Irvington Gas Company, Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental, Legacy Physical Therapy, Taylor Pharmacy, and by Wright Implement Company.
The 2023 high school football season is about to begin as the Breckinridge County Fighting Tigers travel to Fort Knox to face the homestanding Eagles. Hello again, everyone. This is Lee Bramlett from McAdams Field on the campus of Fort Knox High School. Breckinridge County under Coach Brent Huddle returned several key players from last year's squad. With that year of experience hopefully snapping the 11-game skid, they face a Eagle team, follows a 4-7 season, but losing several players from last year's team. We've had the presentation of colors as the color guard has exited the field. Fort Knox is coming onto the field right now. In fact, the captains are at the 50-yard line waiting for pregame instructions and the toss of the coin. We'll get you ready for tonight's game as well as look at other games around the area coming up on this opening weekend of the high school football season. Our pregame coverage brought to you by the home folks of Hardinsburg Tire Service. Stop by and see them for a set of tires, but also as well brake work and state-of-the-art alignment equipment to keep your vehicle either for the road or on the farm up and running. Trust the home folks of Hardinsburg Tire Service. It is a beautiful evening to start the 2023 football season. Sunny skies, temperatures in the upper 70s. We'll drop down maybe into the 60s by the time we're done here tonight. One last enjoyment really of this mild weather before hotter temperatures move in during the course of next week. The pregame forecast brought to you by the Wired Rooster Coffee Shop in Hardinsburg. Breckinridge County looks to erase the memory of last year's campaign with a win tonight against Fort Knox. A young team, new offensive look last year, and challenging schedule ended with the Tigers grinding through an 0-10 campaign, but a drop down in class from 5A to 4A, a more manageable schedule, and return of several key players have Coach Brent Huddle optimistic about this year's squad. Anchoring the offensive side of the ball is the return of senior quarterback Wyatt Burnett, who threw for nearly 900 yards and 6 touchdowns after taking over the role by mid-season. Senior Ladarian Parker is the top returning receiver for the Tigers with 280 yards. Parker also the top returning rusher at 137 yards and a touchdown, though Liam Clark is expected to get the call for much of the season at running back. Parker is also the top returning tackler from 2022 with 58 total tackles, followed by Zach Davis with 55. Then Burnett and Clark each with 30. Parker also had an interception, and Clark and Davis each had a fumble recovery for the Tigers last season. Waiting for Breckinridge County to return to the field here as we wait for them to come back on the field. And about ready to start tonight's game, we'll take a quick look at the Eagles as our coverage continues, brought to you by the home folks of Hardinsburg Tire Service from 104.3 The River at WXBC1043.com.
At Wright Implement, you'll find the full line of John Deere mowers, gators, tractors, ag equipment, John Deere apparel, toys, and more, along with a complete line of Steel and Honda power equipment. And we have a parts and service department that's second to none. Wright Implement has 15 locations throughout Kentucky and southern Indiana to serve you. The right equipment, the right service, and always the right price. Wright Implement, serving great customers like you since 1936. Online at wrightimp.com.
Captains and coaches meeting at center field right now for instructions and the coin toss. Breckinridge County preparing the season to take on Fort Knox. The Eagles come into tonight's game following a 4-7 campaign in 2022, making the Class A playoffs, losing to Crittenden County in the opening round. The Eagles move up in class to 2A, but without key contributors from last year's squad. Returning his senior quarterback, Isaiah Morrison, who threw for over 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. Based on the numbers from a year ago, the Eagles went on a 3-to-1 ratio in terms of running versus passing, which means the Eagles will have to replace some key players in the running game. Junior R.J. Wren is the top returning rusher to the team with 208 yards and 3 touchdowns. Wren is also the top returning receiver from the season. Breckinridge County coming from the north end zone here, as they are coming on to the sidelines at McAdams Stadium. Tigers dressed in white jerseys with maroon trim or maroon pants. Fort Knox preparing to enter from our left. They are dressed in gray jerseys and pants with gold trim. In terms of keys to tonight's ball game, basically who can get in a mid-season form first will be a key factor in this game. Tigers must also avoid playing behind the sticks. That will do it for our pregame show brought to you by the home folks of Hardinsburg Tire Service. Kickoff is next on 104.3 The River.
How many times have you called someplace and heard this?
For customer service, press 1.
At First State Bank, when you call one of their 3 locations, you'll hear this.
First State Bank, this is Michelle. How may I help you?
From opening a checking or savings account to home or commercial loans, you'll get a friendly voice ready to assist with your banking needs. Call or stop by today and find out why for more than 100 years, First State Bank, where your friends bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Online at firststatebankky.com.
Back with you at McAdams Field here on post at Fort Knox. The 2023 football season is about to get underway between the Breckinridge County Fighting Tigers and the Fort Knox Eagles. Fort Knox will get the ball to begin the game. Back deep is Rockus Wren for the Eagles, 5'9", 156, a junior. Also back deep, Ladarius Porter, number 3, a 6-foot freshman. Breckinridge County getting onto the field right now, as we mentioned, dressed in white jerseys, maroon and black trim with maroon pants. Wyatt Burnett setting the tee up, preparing to kick the ball off as we're just about set to get this season underway. Breckinridge County will be moving from right to left as we view them here in this opening quarter of play. The official hands the ball to Burnett. Tigers getting set in position. Quentin Reinhardt getting set to the near side or the left side of the field as the Tigers view their offense. Burnett tees up the ball. Just a few seconds away from getting this year underway. Tigers begin the year with 2 on the road before they return to Tiger Stadium on Labor Day weekend. Burnett awaits the signal. Whistle blown. Burnett advances on the ball. It's going to be a squib kick. Going to be actually going to roll out of bounds. Actually picked up right on the sideline. Picked up by one of the up men as trying to reverse field. I believe that was number 6, Josh Lyons for Knox, either Lyons or Vaughn Fielding Childs. Nice tackle in open space to knock him off his feet. Otherwise, he'd have turned the corner and had open daylight as Burnett angled his kick towards the right side, almost going out of bounds, but the Knox player actually picked it up. As they're trying to get the clock set here, as we're just about to get this game underway. Fort Knox will have the ball, 1st and 10, right about the 25-yard line, and before anything else happens, the whistles blow here. They're attempting to reset the clock here at McAdams Field. Breckinridge County lines up. They'll put 3 down linemen, it looks like. Wyatt Burnett lines up on a wing around the outside end with Grant Compton. Brian Hayes, the defensive tackle, in the middle. 4 linebackers. As we're just about to get this game back underway. Looks like an offset eye for Fort Knox to begin the game. Morrison goes under center. They'll bring a man in motion as they try to run the football, but Breckinridge County gets a push up the middle and makes the stop there. I believe that was Ladarius Punter, number 3, who tried to run the football. Loss of about 5 on the play. Nice job by Breckinridge County getting some pressure on that right side. High formation for Morrison as he goes under center. Wineouts on each side of the field. They'll bring Punter in motion again. They'll hand the ball up the middle this time, and it'll be a limited gain, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. And that's it, as Breckinridge County gets a good pressure up the middle. No gain on the play, so that'll make it 3rd down and about 15. Line to gain is the 35-yard line. Ball is scored at about the 20. Back to an offset eye. Morrison rolling to his right, directs traffic, now turns up the field and is pushed out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. So maybe gets about 5 yards back to the original line of scrimmage, but that it is Breckinridge County is able to push him out. They'll give him up to about the 31. 4th down and 9 upcoming, so Breckinridge County gets a quick 3 and out. And the Eagles will have to kick the ball away. Morrison stands back to punt the football. Breckinridge County has Zach Davis and Lance Poole back deep, awaiting the punt attempt here. Morrison calls for the ball, gets it away, end over end kick. Poole fields it on a catch at about the 35-yard line, tries to turn up the right side of the field, and it is Fort Knox able to get pressure up and sling him down, as it is Carlos Clark, number 16, who pulls Poole down at about the 35-yard line. About a 34-yard punt, no return. And Breckinridge County has the ball for the first time in this season, as Wyatt Burnett will go in at quarterback. We expect to see Liam Clark in the backfield. Receivers include Ladarian Parker, Chase Hardesty, and Lance Poole. Grant Compton will line up as a tight end for the Tigers. 9:36 to go here in the opening quarter. No score. Breckinridge County with their first possession of the game. Burnett in a pistol formation, split between the two backs. Shotgun formation. They'll hand the football off to Clark. Clark turns to the right side, tries to get to the corner, fights his way forward. Second and third effort. Nice work by Clark as he pushes his way forward up to about the 40, close to the 41-yard line. Give Clark about a 5-yard gain. So that'll make it second down. Actually, they'll back him up a yard to about the 39, so it'll make it second down and 6 to the 39-yard line of Breckinridge County. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. No score. Breckinridge County with their first possession of the game. Tigers got a 3 and out in their initial stop. Ladarian Parker splits to the right side or the far side of the field. They've got Chase Hardesty and Poole to the near side. Pistol formation. They bring Parker in motion. Snap. They'll give it on the end around to Ladarian Parker. Parker tries to fight his way forward. Gets up to about the 43-yard line. Knives his way through some Fort Knox defenders. Had to pick his way through. Gets about a 4-yard gain. Make it 3rd down and 2 for Breckinridge County. Ball will be at the 43-yard line of the Tigers. Working down to 8 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Breckinridge County and Fort Knox opening the 2023 season here on post. Tigers break from the huddle. Chase Hardesty and Ladarian Parker split to the right or the far side of the field. Lance Poole to the near side. Liam Clark is the setback. Burnett in pistol formation. Gets the snap. Hands the football straight ahead, or Burnett calls his own number and pushes his way forward. And got the ball actually good enough for a Joe Benebaco Plumbing and Rental first down. About a 4-yard gain for Burnett. Tigers with their first down of the ball game take it up to the 47-yard line of the Tigers. Under 7.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Breckinridge County in their first possession. No score, but the Tigers on the move. Grant Compton and Ladarian Parker, along with Hardesty, go to the right side of the far side of the field. Poole to the near side of the field. Clark is the setback for Burnett in pistol formation. Burnett rolling to his right, looking, pressure coming, throws on the run, off balance, a little overthrown, intended for Chase Hardesty. Knox got pressure up the middle, and they were able to pursue Burnett and force him into hurry his throw. So it'll be second down and 10 for Breckinridge County. Ball is at the 47-yard line. Clock at 6:39 to go here in the opening quarter. No score. Breckinridge County picked up the inaugural first down. Runs of 4 yards each by Clark, Parker, and Burnett. Compton and Parker to the right side of the field. 2 wideouts to the near side of the field for the Tigers. Burnett back to throw. Here's the blitz coming. A little screen pass complete to Poole. Poole tries to break a tackle. Knox did a good job of pursuit one-on-one as they followed Poole. Knox able to get a couple of rushers up the middle. Burnett was able to get the ball away in time. but Poole basically pursued up the field. No gain. 3rd and 10 for Breckinridge County. Ball is at the 47-yard line of the Tigers. Under 6 minutes remaining here in this opening quarter of play. Tigers face 3rd down and 10, 2 wide to each side of the field. They'll bring Parker in motion to the near side, but before anything happens, we'll get a whistle and a penalty. Looks like it's going to be a false start against the Tigers. First penalty of the season, and it backs the Tigers up. So what was 3rd and 10 now becomes 3rd and 15. Taking the ball back to the 41-yard line of Breckinridge County. Clock arrested, 5:32 to go here in the opening quarter. No score. Tigers face a 3rd and long. Line to gain will be the 43-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go, defense. Let's go.
Some confusion for the Tigers as how to set up here, as they're still trying to get receivers in position. And before anything else happens, Breckinridge County will take a timeout. Tigers take their first timeout of the game at 5:07 remaining in the opening quarter. No score. Breckinridge County at Fort Knox. Back in just a minute here on 104.3 The River.
So you've heard us talking about Brandenburg Telecom, and we could have chosen any other provider for our phone, internet, TV, and security service, but we chose Brandenburg Telecom.
It is not hard to find a good deal these days. What it is hard to find is a provider that delivers the best value of service. That's exactly what we're getting with Brandenburg Telecom.
They don't trick you with introductory rates.
They don't keep you waiting for service or waiting on the phone.
When they say they're going to do something, they do it.
Brandenburg Telecom are people who live
And work.
And play in my community.
They're part of this community, and that's why they care.
If you only have one service with Brandenburg Telecom, you're missing out on their other great services.
Give them a chance.
You won't be disappointed. I'm ready for the program.
5:07 to go here in the opening quarter. When play resumes, Breckinridge County will face 3rd and 15 from their 42-yard line. Tigers on 3 consecutive runs picked up a first down, but then an incomplete pass, then a pass for no gain, and a procedure call to back the Tigers up. Empty backfield, and we're going to get motion, and Breckinridge County will back up 5 more yards. False start call will back Breckinridge County up inside the 40, down to about the 37-yard line. So after a good start, the Tigers now starting to struggle just a bit. Mentioned it earlier, the Tigers cannot afford to get behind the sticks here. They've got to keep generating positive plays. 3rd and long, pressure coming. Burnett fires over the middle, and it's almost intercepted. Intended over the middle. Believe that was Clark, the intended receiver. But number 58 for Knox, Nathan Morgan, had his hands on it, leaped, just could not corral it. And the pass goes incomplete. So after an opening first down, the Tigers' drive stalls, and they will have to kick the football away, as it is Zach Davis back to kick the ball for Breckinridge County. Ladarius Purter standing back at about his 30-yard line awaiting the kick. Davis awaiting the snap. Pressure coming, and it is blocked. Basically a pressure off the right side, and Knox able to block it. And they will get field position inside the 30-yard line. Pressure came in from the right side unimpeded and got to Davis and knocked the ball down. And Fort Knox will take over with great field position at the 26-yard line of Breckinridge County. First break of the ball game coming, and it favors the Eagles. Tiger defense going to need another stop here. Morrison in pistol formation. High formation, and now it is Knox's turn to commit a false start, so they will back up 5 yards. Takes the ball to the 31-yard line.
the offense, 5-yard penalty. Play first down.
1st and 15. Ball scored back at the 31-yard line of Breckinridge County. Under 5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. No score, and we get motion along the line. Now the question will be, did Knox jump? Everybody's pointing at everybody else, so the men in the stripes are going to have to settle this. Waiting for the officials as they're trying to decide. Still waiting as the conversation continues. It'll be an offside against Breckinridge County. So the Tigers get hit with the penalty. Already their 3rd one of the night. So essentially move the ball back to the original line of scrimmage at the 26-yard line. 4 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. No score, but Knox threatening as they have the ball at the Breckinridge County 26-yard line. 2 wideouts to the near side of the field. 1 goes far to the left or the far side from us. They'll bring Perter in motion. Low snap. They hand it off straight ahead to Wren. Wren picks his way inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line. And we get a penalty flag thrown late. If it stands, Perter would pick up a 9-yard gain, but this would probably be a dead ball call as it was at the tail end of the play. And the officials again have a conversation. Now they're talking with the Breckinridge County captain. As the officials continue, I believe, I'm going to get a personal foul call, so I'm waiting for the referees to break up the conversation here. Now, dead ball, personal foul against Fort Knox. Dead ball, personal foul, Breckinridge County. Penalties will offset. So the play will stand. That means about a 9-yard gain. Second down, make it 8-yard gain down to about the 18-yard line. Perter and Fielding Childs are wideouts to the near side of the field for Fort Knox. Pistol formation for Morrison, gets the snap, looks to throw the football, goes over the middle, has a man incomplete. Was intended for Perter, trying to cut on the curl to the inside. Pass was a little low. So that'll bring up a 3rd down. 3rd and 2. All at the 18-yard line of Breckinridge County. The clock arrested, 4:10 to go here in this opening quarter. No score, but Fort Knox with the best field position of either team on the night. Their second possession of the night. Perter goes in motion to the far side of the field. They'll hand the football straight away to Wren. And Rockwen is met right at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So that'll bring up a 4th down call here for Coach Mike Reed and the Eagles. And I have to think this is going to be 4-down territory here, and they will go for it. Perter lines up wide to the right. Wren, Morrison, and Josh Lyons in the backfield for Fort Knox. They bring a man in motion. They'll hand the football off. Try to swing to the outside, cuts to the corner, and is stopped. Tried to run Jacob Taylor on an end-around play, but Breckinridge County got pressure up the middle. Believe that was Hudson Wren who came up to make the stop. So the Tigers with momentum as they force the turnover on downs. A loss back to the 21-yard line. Tigers will take over on offense after making the stop there. So it's the Breck County defense to the front. And Breckinridge County will take over with 2:22 remaining here in the first quarter of play. No score. Tigers have the ball at the 21-yard line. Wyatt Burnett coming into the huddle for Breckinridge County. Tigers again moving from right to left as we view them here in this opening quarter at McAdams Field. Compton and Parker line up to the right side of the far side of the field. Poole and Hardesty to the near side. Clark is the setback for Burnett. Hands the football ahead. No, they do a try and end around. Parker lost the handle, now tries to make the best of the situation. Tigers recover, but not before a 7-yard loss by Parker. Takes the ball back inside the 15. They'll actually score it back to the 13-yard line, so a loss of 8 on the play. Tigers huddle around quarterback wide Burnett. Breaking from the huddle. Clark is the setback in the backfield. 2 wide, each side of the field. Burnett now will just take off up the middle, gets up to the 15, picks his way through, fights his way to the 20, up to about the 23-yard line.
Breckinridge with the quarterback draw. Positive game. Brings them
so
up
they get
third down and 8 to go.
About a 9-yard pickup for Burnett. But we have a penalty flag down, so we'll wait and see what the call is here. This will be the 5th penalty of the game already. Dead ball against Breckinridge County.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, offense.
So, and that one's a killer because that's a 15-yard penalty. So what would have been a 9-yard gain essentially amounts to a 6-yard loss. And now Coach Brent Hoddle coming out. He wants an explanation. Breckinridge County right now painting a picture of frustration. Coach Hoddle still not happy as he wanted an explanation for the ref, and he got it. Not sure it satisfies him as it takes the ball back. They'll spot the ball down. Still have yet to mark the penalty off. Well, they've got some interesting marking. They're saying they're marking it from the spot of the foul. If it's a dead ball foul, then it would be at the end of the play. So the ball instead, though, is taken back inside the 10 to about the 11-yard line. I guess it's half the distance to the goal. 3rd and a bunch for the Tigers, backed up deep in their own territory. Low snap. Burnett is going to try and throw the football, gets it away, incomplete. Was looking for Compton over the middle, but had a man on top of him every step of the way, Robert Magalong, and it's an incomplete pass. So again, Breckinridge County struggling after that initial series of plays. Tigers struggling to get an offensive rhythm here. It'll be 4th down and long, so the Tigers will have to kick the ball deep in their own territory. Much better attempt on the punt, although they get it away barely, may have even been deflected. It takes a Fort Knox bounce and rolls dead at about the 25-yard line. Now a 14-yard punt, no return. And Fort Knox again, for the 2nd time in their 3 possession start on the Breckinridge County side of the field, taking over at the 25-yard line. 2 minutes, 1 second to go here in this opening quarter. Breckinridge County nothing, Fort Knox nothing, but again, Fort Knox with a chance to make something happen here. Tiger defense again will be called on to try to make a stop. Offset eye as they bring Herder in motion. Low snap to Morrison. They'll hand the football to Wren. Goes off the left side and gets down to about the 21-yard line. Give him a gain of about 4 on the play before Hudson Wren comes in and makes the stop. 2nd down and 6. Score the ball at the 21-yard line of Breckinridge County as we're under 2 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. No score again. Fort Knox on the fringe of the red zone here. Lions and Wren in the backfield. They bring a man in motion, and another penalty will be assessed here. This will be a false start against Fort Knox. That's the 6th penalty already in the game. Breckinridge County 4 times for 30 yards. Fort Knox twice for 5. Backs the ball up, so it'll make it 2nd down They'll score it at about the 27-yard line. Call it second down and 11. Fielding Childs and Jacob Taylor wideouts to the far side of the field. Perter to the near side. Here's the give up the middle of Wren, and he slips as he heads into the line of scrimmage, falls down. He's actually going to lose a couple of yards. They'll take him back to the 30-yard line. So it'll be third and long upcoming now for Fort Knox. Ball is at the 29-yard line. They've got to get to about the 15 to pick up the first down. Inside the final minute of this opening quarter. Back to throw. Morrison looking, going over the middle, has a man. Intercepted. Tigers pick it off. Heading up the field, believe that is Zach Davis who comes away with the interception. So Breckinridge County forces a turnover, the first official turnover of the ball game, as Davis stepped in front of that pass and headed up the field and gets the ball actually up in decent field position for the Tigers. They'll take it at about the 35-yard line with 36 seconds remaining here in the quarter. Tigers will have a couple of more plays here before the quarter comes to an end. But the momentum of a turnover there, Tigers will have it at the 35-yard line. Poole lines up to the far side of the field. They'll put three receivers to the near side. Burnett in pistol formation, fakes the handoff. Not sure that wasn't a broken play. Burnett was looking to hand to the left side of the field. No one there, so calls his own number, scrambles, and picks up about 3 yards on the play. Second down and 7, and that might be the final play of the quarter as we're down to 10 seconds remaining in this first frame. Tigers will have to hurry if they want to get a play off. Down to 5, down to 4. Burnett gets the ball. Blitz coming. They run the screen pass. It is caught. Complete. Parker fights his way up to the 40, gets a couple of yards, and that will do it for the end of the first quarter. At the end of one, it is Breckinridge County nothing, Fort Knox nothing. Tonight's opening quarter has been brought to you by Hardensburg Nursing and Rehab. This is Fighting Tigers Sports from 104.3 The River, WXBC1043.com, and the 104.3 The River mobile app.
Experience the difference of the Big Green Egg ceramic cooker from Irvington Gas Company. It's a smoker, a grill, and oven, all in one. It's easy to start, reaching cooking temperatures in just 10 minutes with temperature control so you can cook to perfection. It's safer to use and it's easy to clean up. Stop by Irvington Gas Company on Highway 79 to see the Big Green Egg and other gas grills available. Irvington Gas Company, serving this area for more than 75 years.
Breckinridge County will face a third down and 5. The ball scored at the 40-yard line of the Tigers. Second quarter underway here at McAdams Field on the Fort Knox Army installation. And before anything happens, another penalty for the Tigers. Another false start call. Fifth penalty of the night for Breckinridge County already, and that will back them up 5 yards. So what was going to be a manageable 3rd and 5 now becomes 3rd and 10 as the ball back at the 35-yard line of the Tigers. No score. Fort Knox had a couple of chances inside the Tiger 30. Tigers turned them away on downs on the first opportunity, then an interception by Zach Davis on the second. After an initial first down, the Tigers have struggled to find their offensive footing. Facing 3rd and long, 3 wide to the left side of the field. Here's Burnett rolling to his left, looking, throwing. Has a man caught? No. Ladarian Parker falling as he tried to get the ball, and it goes just wide and incomplete. Burnett now 2 of 6 to begin the ball game for 2 yards. And the Tigers will be facing a 4th down and will have to kick the ball away. Wyatt Burnett back to kick the ball for Breckinridge County. Wren and Herter back deep for Fort Knox as Wyatt Burnett will attempt the punt here. Good snap. Pressure coming. Kick partially blocked. It'll be fielded. Actually, it was touched by Fort Knox, and I believe Breckinridge County got it back. I believe Paxton DeWitt came up with the football, and that is the case because, again, the up man, Brad Merkovich, number 4 for Fort Knox, touched the football. Thought he was going to maybe try and field it and make a run, but he put a hand on it and essentially fumbled the football. And Breckinridge County comes away with the football off of the turnover. Tigers catch a break there as, again, the Knox up man tried to grab the football, maybe try to make a run as it was partially blocked. Technically, it's a 7-yard punt, no return, fumble recovered by Breckinridge County. Lance Poole lines up to the near side of the field. 2 receivers, Hardesty and Parker, to the far side of the left side. Liam Clark is the setback for Wyatt Burnett. Along the offensive line for Breckinridge County, it's Hunter Davis, Keaton Soch, Dylan Nash, Riley Grant, and Wilson Hart. And now a conversation is taking place. And now the officials had a conversation. Apparently they're going to award the ball back to Fort Knox. Coach Hoddle trying to get an explanation. So Fort Knox gets the ball after all. Apparently the officials came to the conclusion he did not touch the football. So it would have been down by contact. So basically call it about a 7-yard punt on the play, no return. And again, Fort Knox starts on the Breckinridge County side of the field, 1st and 10. Ball will be at the Tiger 42-yard line. And right off the bat, Fort Knox is hit with a penalty. That'll be their 3rd of the night. And that will move the Eagles back 5 yards. They'll take the ball back to the 48-yard line of Breckinridge County. 11:45 to go here in the opening half of play, no score. Several games getting underway here later this evening. Among them, Edmonson County will take on Grayson County in the battle for the tobacco stick in Litchfield. Meade County is at Henderson County. Ohio County plays McLean County. Central Hardin is at George Rogers Clark. We'll pick up more of the schedule from the Dennis Bennett and Sons scoreboard in just a moment. No score here, Breckinridge County and Fort Knox. Eagles with their first possession of the second quarter, and before anything happens, the snap, and this time it is Fort Knox who elects to take a timeout. Eagles will take a timeout at 11:44 to go here in the first half of play. No score between Breckinridge County and Fort Knox. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
If you need home medical equipment, rely on Taylor Pharmacy. They deliver home medical equipment such as oxygen, lift chairs, hospital beds, and CPAP machines to Breckinridge and surrounding counties. They have everything a patient needs for recuperating at home. Taylor Pharmacy does so much more than fill prescriptions. They carry a full line of diabetic chews, have a gift department, and of course make delicious tailor-made fudge in a variety of flavors that include sugar-free. Stop by Taylor Pharmacy in Hardinsburg and see why your family and the Taylor Pharmacy family make a good team.
Fort Knox takes their first timeout of the game at 11:44 to go here in the first half. No score. They'll face 1st and 15, ball at the 48-yard line of Breckinridge County. Neither team effectively moving the ball. Breckinridge County looked like it got off to a great start. Actually picked up a first down on their initial possession, but then the offense has stalled out. Any gains that have made have been subsequently wiped out by penalty. Fort Knox has had the bulk of the scoring opportunities twice inside the 30-yard line, could not convert. They'll face 1st and 15 here. They bring Jacob Taylor in motion. They fake the handoff. Here is the give to Rock Wren. Wren pulls forward and maybe gets a couple of yards on the play. Actually, they'll maybe give him about a yard. 2nd and 14. Looks like there's been a change in quarterback. They're going to go with Roach Wen, number 2 in at quarterback. Low snap. He'll hand the football off. Breckinridge County's Grant Compton gets a hand on Perter as he tries the jet sweep. Compton got a good push up and knocks him back to the 50-yard line. Going to be a loss of about 3 on the play. So make it 3rd down and 16. Make it 17. Fort Knox has to get to the 33-yard line to extend the drive. They'll put 2 wideouts to the far side of the field. Looks like Morrison is back in at quarterback for the Eagles. Gets the snap, rolls to his right, looking, throws, incomplete, intended for Josh Lyons, but the pass overthrown. And Fort Knox will be facing 4th down, and Morrison will stay in to pump the ball away. So the Tigers get a 3-and-out. As Zach Davis and Lance Poole will head back to await the kick. A reminder, coming up at the conclusion of tonight's ball game, we will be selecting a player of the game, brought to you by Subway on Old Highway 60 in Hardensburg. Morrison back for his 2nd punt attempt of the night, 34 yards on the first. Davis and Poole standing back at about their 20-yard line awaiting this kick. 10.5 minutes to go here in the first half. No score. And the whistles blow as soon as the ball is snapped. And a penalty against Fort Knox. It'll be a delay of game against the Eagles. Now the 9th penalty called between the 2 teams combined. Breckinridge County has 5 for 35. Fort Knox 4 for 20. Ball moved back to the 45-yard line of Fort Knox. Morrison awaits the punt, gets it away, sidewinder, and this one will roll out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. So this one only about a 19-yard punt, no return, and Breckinridge County takes over at their 36-yard line with 10 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Neither team able to get anything moving on offense. In fact, the Tigers have the only made first down thus far of the game. That was on that opening drive. But both teams' offenses have struggled since then. Breckinridge County, by my count, with 14 yards of total offense at the moment. Fort Knox right now sitting at 9. Burnett in pistol formation. He'll make the pitch to Liam Clark. Clark turns the left side, gets to the outside, gets past the line of scrimmage, and we'll get another flag here as Clark gets up to about the 41, but we've got penalty flags thrown upfield. We'll wait and see what the call is. It's a hold against the Tigers. So right now, neither team can find any momentum in this game. Any positive yardage has usually been offset with a penalty, as they will mark off a 10-yarder. So wipe out the run by Clark, and that moves the ball back to the 30-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 16 from the 30-yard line. Compton and Parker split wide to the right side of the field. Poole goes to the left. Burnett gets the snap, back to throw, blitz coming. Now it's under the run, tries to throw on the run, incomplete. Fort Knox trying to lobby for an intentional grounding call, but Compton had took off down the field. And Burnett threw just as he was under pressure, so the pass falls incomplete. Second down and 16. Line to gain is the 46-yard line. Compton and Parker to the near side. Hardesty and Lance Poole go to the left. Burnett gets the snap, back to throw. Again, pressure coming. They try the screen pass. It is caught. Clark picks his way through, slips a tackle, into open field, heads down the sidelines, gets to about the 48-yard line of Fort Knox. And that should be more than enough for a first down. A Joe Benebacco Plumbing and Rental first down for Breckinridge County as they find the screen pass to Clark. Good for about 21 yards. Second first down of the ball game, and Breckinridge County for the first time into enemy territory as they have the ball at the Fort Knox 49-yard line. Parker to the near side of the field. Poole goes to the far side or the left as Burnett uses offense. Offset eye, fakes the handoff. Here's Parker. Or make that Liam Clark, tries to slip a man through. Knox just getting a lot of pressure up the middle. They had two men on Parker who tried to dance every step of the way. And he's going to take a loss back to about the 48-yard line, loss of 3 on the play. 8:43 left to go here in the first half of play. No score. Breckinridge County and Fort Knox. Tigers with the ball at the 48-yard line on their side of the field. Had a big pass play a moment ago from Burnett to Clark. Too wide to each side of the field. They put Parker in the slot to the left. Low snap for Burnett. Back to throw, getting some time. Now pressure coming. He's going to have to take off running. On the run, throws incomplete. Had Parker all alone, but put just a little bit of gas on it. And it goes over Parker's head, incomplete. So that'll bring up third down and about 13. Line to gain is the 39-yard line of Fort Knox. Right now, the story of Breckinridge County, they're making some first downs but cannot build anything consistently. Clock arrested at 8:10 to go here in the opening half of play. Breckinridge County 0, Fort Knox 0. Caden Coombs, number 12, lines up as a wide out to the left side or far side of the field. Too wide to each side. Burnett in pistol formation. Back to throw. Burnett rolling to his right, looking, throwing as a man intended for Compton. Batted away. Had two men right on top of him. Magalong almost had a chance to make an interception, pulling it off the ground, but instead it falls incomplete. So the Tigers again will have to kick the ball away. So again, another situation where the Tigers build some momentum. They get a big play, but then follow it up with a loss. And Breckinridge County giving the indication here that they're going to go for it here. Play clock down to 3, down to 2. Will they get the play off? No, they won't. And it will be a delay of game against Breckinridge County. So the Tigers will kick the ball away. I think the intent, they're hoping they could maybe draw them offside and then get on the positive side of the field. That did not work, so back the Tigers up 5 yards, and that will probably mean the Tigers kick the ball. We'll see. But before anything else happens, Breckinridge County will take their second time out of the half. It comes at 8:02 remaining here in the second quarter of play. No score, Breckinridge County and Fort Knox. This is Fighting Tigers Sports from 104.3 The River.
Are you aware of all the healthcare services offered right here in Breckinridge County? Allison Mattingly here from Breckinridge Health to let you know there are so many services we provide right here so you don't have to travel far. Surgery, new providers, ear, nose, and throat, outpatient therapy services, cardiac rehab, and so much more. To find out more about the services offered, call 270-756-7000 or go to www.mybreckhealth.org.
8:02 remaining here in the first half. Breckinridge County giving indication they're going to go for it again despite the 4th and long. Tigers are set up at the 43-yard line on their side of the field. They've got to get to the 39 of Fort Knox to extend the drive. Burnett back to throw, looking, firing, has a man over the middle, incomplete, intended for Chase Hardesty. Pass overthrown. And Fort Knox will take over on downs on the Breckinridge County side of the field. Ball will be scored at the 43-yard line of the Tigers with 7:58 remaining here in the first half of play. No score. Both teams have struggled to find offense. Breckinridge County maybe a little more offense. They've had the more positive offense of the night. But Fort Knox has been able to stop them after they picked up first downs. And now Fort Knox will take over. Right now it looks like it's going to be quarterback by committee, as it looks like we've got a different quarterback in the game, as they're going to let Taylor have a go at it. Number 10, Jacob Taylor. And going to be a false start call against Fort Knox. That's their 5th penalty of the night. And that'll back them up 5 yards. Takes the ball to the 48-yard line of Breckinridge County. Under 8 minutes remaining here in the first half. Both teams still looking for a score to begin this game. Fort Knox had the best opportunities. Breckinridge County has moved the ball more effectively, but Knox has had the better opportunities. Here's a give up the middle. Wren fights his way in, back into Breckinridge County territory, takes the ball down to about the 42-yard line of the Tigers. So he gets about 6 yards on the run. He'll take the ball down to about the 42-yard line. Second and 9 upcoming. Taylor sends a man in motion. They'll go up the middle, and another flag. False start call against the Eagles. That's their 6th penalty of the night. Breckinridge County has been penalized 7 times. Takes the ball back to the 47-yard line. Man in motion and more. Man in motion heading to the far side. Man in motion along the sidelines. Another false start call. Back 5 yards. Will take the ball into the Fort Knox side of the field. They'll score it down at the 48-yard line. Got to get to the 33 to pick up a first down, so that will make it 2nd and 19 for Fort Knox. Jacob Taylor is the 3rd different quarterback we have seen in the game running the offense for the Eagles. Here is a give up the middle, as fighting forward for up to about the 48-yard line. Maybe about 4 yards on the play, as Knox trying to get a push. I believe that was Wren on the carry. 7 carries for 11 yards on the night for Roquan. Under 7 minutes remaining here in the first half. No score. Knox will have it 3rd and about 16. Back to throw. Taylor getting some pressure now. Steps up. Looking. We get a penalty flag behind the play, as it is Quentin Reinhardt coming up from behind, pulling him down about the 49-yard line. It's going to be a holding call against Fort Knox. But presumably, we'll see if Breckinridge County elects to decline this one, as it's going to be maybe about a 1-yard gain if they accept it. It is a hold. Fort Knox is declined, so it'll be 4th and long. And Breckinridge County makes the stop, as Morrison back to punt the football. Zach Davis, who has an interception a little earlier in the game, back awaiting the kick, and this is going to be a high kick. Going to take a bounce and fielded at about the 43-yard line. Not a 14-yard punt. Limited return fielded at about the 43, so Breckinridge County takes over with 6:35 remaining here in this opening half of play. No score, Tigers and Eagles in this season opener for both teams. Breckinridge County with 36 yards of offense in this game, compared to Fort Knox with only 14. Burnett makes the handoff, now calls his own number, goes up the left side, has some room, breaks to about midfield and pulled down at about the 50-yard line. So gain of about 7 for Burnett. He's got 4 carries for 23 yards on the night. Takes it to midfield. He's second down and about 3 for Breckinridge County. 6:10 remaining here in the second quarter. Tigers at midfield. Caden Coombs heads to the far side of the field along with 2 other receivers. They have Lance Poole to the near side. Clark is the setback for Burnett, who gets the snap, calls his own number, picks his way forward, dives, and should have enough for the Joe Benebaco Fleming and Metal first down to about the 46-yard line. Give him a gain of 4 on the play. Breckinridge County with 3 first downs in the ball game. Knox is yet to pick up a first down. Down to the 45-yard line of the Eagles as we head to 5.5 minutes remaining here in the first half of play. This is where things have gotten rough for the Tigers here. They pick up a first down, but then cannot build any momentum off of it. 3 receivers to the far side of the field, 1 to the near side. Burnett calls his own number, gets into open space to the 40, still on his feet, to the 35, down to the 30, is shoved out of bounds inside the 30, down to about the 26-yard line, and some altercations after the play, and the officials right up in Wyatt Burnett. Burnett asking what he did wrong, and I think he has been ejected. Burnett giving the signal that, and I think that is the case, we're going to get a personal foul. The question is, but I think the official, and that is the case, he has ejected Wyatt Burnett from the game. Coach Brent Hollow is angry because he feels like it took 2 to tangle there. So Burnett's night is done. And now Coach Hoddle is still furious. Coach Hoddle angry about what happened. And again, all of that, now a flag has been thrown at Hoddle. He is not happy about what happened here. He feels like that Knox has instigated a lot of this. Burnett and Coach Hoddle are talking on the sideline, and you could hear Coach Hoddle. Dead ball foul against Fort Knox. Dead ball foul against Breckinridge County, offset. So we have a dead ball against the Breckinridge County. They're offset, but we had, again, a dead ball. So it would have been a nice gain there. Would have been about an 18-yard gain. But the more important storyline here is that Wyatt Burnett has been ejected from the game. So we get a 15-yard penalty against the Tigers.
All right, folks. Looks like we have offsetting the Breckinridge and Fort Knox, followed by a dead ball penalty against Breckinridge, which puts it back 15 yards.
And now Coach Hoddle still talking about this. Again, Coach Hoddle pleading his case. He feels like that Burnett was instigated. Well, Burnett's still on the field right now. So the official made the symbol to throw him out, or he had pointed to the sideline. Now the conversation continues. Burnett walks back to the sideline. Again, it has been chippy all night. Both of these teams doing a lot of shoving after the play is over. Now Coach Reed getting an explanation on his half of the field. Coach Hoddle walking over to official to get an explanation. Now he heads back, so apparently nobody ejected as Burnett stays in the game. The only bad thing about this now is while Burnett stays in the game, Tigers have lost about 30 yards after what would have been a nice run. Ball is back at the 46-yard line of Breckinridge County. How does that be a 15-yard penalty from the 30-yard line unless they marked off a second penalty? Not particularly impressed with what I'm seeing here in terms of management of this game by the officials. Again, someone's going to have to explain to me how do you go from the 26-yard line all the way back to midfield on a offsetting penalty, then personal foul. Here is Burnett, pressure coming, looking. Wyatt's got to play within himself right now because both these teams are swinging at one another. Burnett gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's it. So it'll be second down. When it's all said and done, it'll actually be second and about 9. They'll give him 1 yard on the play. Gonna have to get an explanation on this. I'm a little mystified at this one. Second and 9. It's not, at least not a second and long situation. Ball, the line to gain is the 44-yard line of Fort Knox with 4:24 remaining. But again, another situation where the Tigers get some momentum, but then cannot capitalize on it. Here is Burnett calling his own number, picking his way through, pulls forward, and we get another flag thrown in the backfield. Well, we'll see what this call is. This will be a hold against Breckinridge County. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now 17 penalties combined against the two, or 16 penalties combined against the two teams. Breckinridge has 9, Knox 7, but a 10-yarder knocks the ball back. At some point, the officials almost have to, swallow the flag here because it's the opening game of the season. I know everybody's nervous, but 16 penalties in the opening drive, give me a break here. At some point, you have to swallow a few of these, and then I'm still trying to figure out the personal foul call. Here's a screen pass, incomplete. Liam Clark had some open space there, just let it get through his hands. So it'll be third down and long for Breckinridge County. The ball scored at the 36-yard line. They have to get to the 44. So make it third and a long 19. The ball is at the 36-yard line of Breckinridge County. 3:53 remaining here in this opening quarter. No score. Back to throw, Burnett rolling, looking, scrambling, hits Compton for a pass, complete. Compton breaks the tackle, 40, 45, still on his feet up to about the 48-yard line. About a 12-yard pickup on the play. Going to be short of the first down. That'll take the ball up to about the 47-yard line. So it becomes third down, 4th and 9 for the Tigers with 3:25 remaining in the quarter. Breckinridge County looks like they are going to go for it here. Parker wide out to the right side. Hardesty and Poole to the left. Pistol formation for Burnett. Gets the snap, back to throw. Looking, has time. Still looking. Pump fakes, now looks. Now he's going to have to take off. Throws on the run. Complete, finds Compton. Cannot pull it in. And the pass falls incomplete. So Breckinridge County will turn it over on downs. And for the third time tonight, Tigers cannot sustain momentum in this game. As a big run by Burnett put them inside the 30, but then personal fouls cost the Tigers and could not gain the momentum back. And Fort Knox will take over with 2:54 remaining here in the first half. Ball will be scored at the Breckinridge County 47-yard line. Still no score in this game as Morrison in at quarterback. They'll bring Taylor in motion. They'll hand the football to Taylor again on a jet sweep, and Taylor is leveled by Gage Showman, number 9, as he comes up and lowers the boom. Going to be a limited gain. Actually, they're going to mark him back for about a 3-yard loss on the play. Second down and 13. Morrison in at quarterback. 2 in the backfield. Merkovich number 4 and Wren at number 2. Coming down to 2 minutes remaining here in this first half. Back to throw. Morrison looking, firing, goes over the middle. It is. Waiting to see, no signal. They're going to call it complete. No, they'll say incomplete. Merkovich was the intended receiver. Tried to trap it on the ground. So the pass goes incomplete. Will be 3rd down and 13 upcoming. Morrison 0 of 4 throwing the football with 1 interception. Clock stop with 1:22 to go. They're wanting to reset the clock here. Third down and 13, ball right at midfield. The line to gain is about the 37 for Fort Knox. With 1:24 left to go. Actually, they'll reset now the clock to 1:41. Back to throw. Morrison looks, has a man caught, but is met promptly on the spot. Fielding Childs makes the grab at about the 45-yard line. Give him about a 4-yard completion. So it'll be 3rd down, make it 4th down and 9 with 1:17 to go, and Knox will go for it here. Clock rolling. Knox has 2 timeouts remaining if they need them. Morrison back to throw. Low snap, looking, fires, going for the deep ball. Has a man downfield and is caught by Merkovich. Down inside at the 20-yard line. First big play of the game for Fort Knox. They'll take the ball down to about the 14-yard line, so a 31-yard pass play. And it sets up Fort Knox deep in Breckinridge County territory, down at about the 13-yard line. Inside the final minute, clock still rolling. Back to throw. Here is the give. Wren tries to get to the outside. Tries to bounce to the right side and is met for about a 2-yard loss. And Fort Knox will take their second timeout. 29.8 seconds remaining here in the quarter. It is Breckinridge County nothing, Fort Knox nothing, but big opportunity here for the Eagles. They'll have it second at about 12 inside the 20-yard line. They'll be down back to about the 16-yard line when play resumes. Tigers have done a good job holding Knox in check, but converting on a big 4th down play just a moment ago. Golden opportunity here for the Eagles, as they could potentially try to get a score right before halftime. Call it 2nd down and 12. Dennis Bennett and Sons scoreboard update. End of the first quarter, it is Grayson County over Edmonson County, 6-0. Here, no score. Knox threatening with under 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. Wren is the setback stationed to the left of Morrison. And another stoppage in play here, down to 10 seconds. Play clock is rolling. They're resetting the play clock here. As they set the football up with, again, 29.8 seconds remaining here in the half. Fort Knox faces second down and 11. Ball at about the 14-yard line. Morrison back to throw. Pressure coming over the middle. It is caught. A man out in open spaces. Wren inside the 10 to the 5 and gets into the end zone for a touchdown. So the Tigers, who had done a good job of keeping Fort Knox at bay, unable to do so as Morrison with a 14-yard touchdown pass to Rock Wren. And just before halftime, Fort Knox takes the lead at 6-0 with 21.5 seconds remaining in the quarter. I believe we're going to get another timeout. Fort Knox will take their final timeout of the half with 21.5 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The score is Fort Knox 6, Breckinridge County nothing. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rentals been in business since 1973 and are still going strong and growing. They carry the largest selection of rental equipment in the area. They can also take care of all your residential and commercial plumbing needs. They haul rock, install cisterns, dig footers, basements, and backfill around your home. Call 270-756-2946. That's Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental, located on Old Highway 60 in Hardinsburg, a proud supporter of Breckinridge County and the Fighting Tigers.
As we return to play, Morrison attempts the extra point, and it is good. So with 21.5 seconds remaining in the first half, Fort Knox breaks into the scoreboard. The big pass play from Morrison to Merkovich on fourth down set up the Eagles inside the red zone, and they are able to cash in as Wren was out in space on the pass play from Morrison, and he took it in for the score. And with 21.5 seconds remaining here in this first half of play, Breckinridge County finds themselves trailing by the score of 7-0. Tigers have been able to keep Knox at bay, even on their half of the field until the late drive. And right now for the Tigers, the problem is just not being able to build any consistent drives. They've been able to make some good plays here and there, but just simply cannot sustain at the moment. And that's going to be something that has to be ironed out at halftime. Morrison will kick the ball away. Paxton DeWitt, Lance Poole, and Zach Davis all awaiting the kickoff here. And it'll be a squib kick fielded by Quentin Reinhardt. Actually gets away from Reinhardt. Stepping up is Davis to make the grab. Ball will be down at about the 37-yard line with 17.7 seconds remaining in the first half. Breckinridge County has one timeout remaining. Ball scored down at about the 38. Tigers moving from left to right here in the second quarter. Poole goes to the left side, far side of the field, joined by Chase Hardesty. With Arian Parker to the near side or the right side as Burnett views the offense. Back to throw. Burnett looking, a little flat pass complete to Parker. Little reverse on the play. Little hook and ladder play as they get the ball to Liam Clark takes the ball up to about midfield. That'll be good for a Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental first down. And Breckinridge County will take their final timeout of the half at 7.8 seconds remaining in the quarter. Nice pass play, found Parker in the flat. Then they ran the hook and lateral. Parker lateraled the ball to Clark, who picked up an extra few yards, taking the ball to midfield. So timeout Breckinridge County as they burn their final timeout of the half. Tigers will have the ball 1st and 10 after that Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental first down. Tigers have 4 first downs of the game. Fort Knox just 1. But the Eagles were able to capitalize on their 1. It'll be 1st and 10, Breckinridge County, ball at the 50-yard line with 7.8 seconds remaining in the first half. Two wide to the far side, one not wide to the near side. Burnett awaiting the snap, back to throw, blitz coming. Here's a ball headed down the sidelines, and it is intercepted. Wren able to make a grab, kept 2 feet down and pulled it in. So interception by Fort Knox. So the turnover battle is even. And with 1.4 seconds remaining, Fort Knox will get the ball back. Tigers were looking down the near sideline. The pass just underthrown, and Wren played center field on it. Now they're going to say, whoa. Okay, they're going to actually wipe it out because they're going to say pass incomplete. From my neck of the woods, looked like he had 2 feet down. So Tigers will take it as that wipes out a turnover against Breckinridge County. That will keep Burnett interception free. So, and is that the end of the half? The official said wind it. Well, there's going to be some discussion here. Now the officials are holding up. Well, I guess they'll get an untimed down here. The only way it would continue is if a defensive penalty. Low snap, Burnett gets it, rolls to his left, looking, still looking. Gonna have to fire the football. It's a high pass. This one, well, is this one intercepted or not? They'll say this one was out of bounds. And that will end the first half. Fort Knox with a late touchdown in the half will take a 7-0 lead into the locker room against Breckinridge County. Tonight's second quarter of Fighting Tiger football has been brought to you by Commonwealth Machining. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River, WXBC1043.com, and the 104.3 The River mobile app.
Do you know what the Breckinridge County Health Department does? We do everything from pool inspections to site evaluations on septic tanks, the WIC program, women's health, immunizations, children and adults, disaster preparedness, and community health education, among many other things. For more information, you can call us at 270-756-5121 or go to our website, BreckinridgeCountyHealthDEPT.org. And good luck, Breckinridge County Fighting Tigers, from all of us at the Breckinridge County Health Department.
Halftime here at McAdams Field on the campus of Fort Knox High School. Lee Bramlett with you, where it is the Fort Knox Eagles leading Breckinridge County at the midway point by the score of 7-0. Breckinridge County having a little better opportunity moving the football, have done so more consistently throughout the game. The problem for the Tigers, they just cannot build any consistency. They pick up a first down, and then backward plays start to happen in the form of losses, incomplete passes, and penalties. Tigers actually outgaining Fort Knox in this game at the moment. Fort Knox really converting on their ability to stay on the Breckinridge County side of the field. They converted on a big pass play late in the half. The only score of this game coming with 21.5 seconds left to go in the first half. That was when Isaiah Morrison connected with Roque Wren on a 14-yard touchdown. The extra point by Morrison is good, and the score reads 7-0 here at halftime. Fort Knox leads Breckinridge County in this season opener for both teams. We'll be back with a look at some of the first half stats, both team and individual, as our halftime show continues, brought to you by Highway 60 Pond. They're on the sports voice of Breckinridge County, 104.3 The River.
Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Breckinridge County High School alumni Matt Mattingly and Katie Critchlow at Legacy Physical Therapy salute you, Breckinridge County, and support Breckinridge County sports. Legacy Physical Therapy is an outpatient physical therapy clinic proudly serving Breckinridge County with that Tiger pride. Located at 237 Highway 60 in Hardinsburg, Matt Mattingly and Katie Critchlow and their staff are very proud to serve their patients and their community. At Legacy Physical Therapy, they treat people, not patients.
Back with you at McAdams Field on post. Lee Bramlett with you as we continue on with the halftime show, taking a look at the unofficial first half stats. First, for Breckinridge County, we show them with 4 Joe Bennett backhoe plumbing and metal first downs in the game. They ran the ball 12 times for 50 yards. 4 of 17 passing the ball for 41 yards. Total offense, 91 yards. No turnovers in the game as the 2 interceptions both were ruled out of bounds. Penalties a killer for the Tigers tonight. 9 penalties for 75 yards. None more killing was the personal foul calls as Breckinridge County had just gotten the ball inside the 30-yard line. But then a couple of fouls, personal fouls, knocked the Tigers back into their half of the field. They pumped the ball 3 times for an average of 7 yards. One of those punt attempts was blocked. For Fort Knox, they have 1 first down in the ball game. They ran the ball 14 times for 9 yards. They're 3 of 7 passing for 49 yards. Total offense, 58 yards. They did commit 1 turnover in the game. They've been penalized 7 times in the game for 35 yards. They've had 3 punt attempts for an average of 22 yards in the game. Halftime score, Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. Tigers with some work to do to try to rally in this ball game as the Tigers actually had done an effective job of keeping Fort Knox out of the scoring column for much of the first half, especially with a couple of possessions inside the 30, but the one right before halftime proves lethal for the Tigers at the moment, and they will have to rally from that 7-point deficit. We'll take a look at some of the individual stats coming up in just a couple of minutes. Again, the halftime show brought to you by Highway 60 Pond here on 104.3 The River.
At Wright Implement, you'll find the full line of John Deere mowers, gators, tractors, ag equipment, John Deere apparel, toys, and more, along with a complete line of Steel and Honda power equipment. And we have a parts and service department that's second to none. Wright Implement has 15 locations throughout Kentucky and southern Indiana to serve you. The right equipment, the right service, and always the right price. Wright Implement, serving great customers like you since 1936. Online at wrightimp.com.
7-0, the halftime score. Fort Knox leading Breckinridge County. Lee Bramble with you at McAdams Field on post. Let's take a look at some of the individual numbers we have of the ball game. For Liam Clark, we show him running the ball 3 times for 9 yards. Ladarius Parker, 2 carries for -4 yards. Wyatt Burnett has carried the ball 7 times for 46 yards. Burnett has attempted 17 passes. He's completed 4 of them for 41 yards. The leading receivers in the game include Clark with 2 receptions for 23 yards. We also have Ladarius Parker, 2 receptions for 6 yards in the ball game. We also have a reception to Grant Compton for 23. And that accounting for the passing for Breckinridge County. Across the way for Fort Knox, running the football, it is R.J. Wren with 8 carries for 9 yards. Isaiah Morrison, 1 carry for 6 yards. Ladarius Herder had 3 carries for no yards. Jacob Taylor ran the ball twice for -6 yards. Throwing the football in the game, Morrison has attempted 7 passes. He's completed 3 of them for 49 yards, 1 interception, but more importantly for Knox, one touchdown, that going to R.J. Wren for the score right before halftime. That was set up, though, by a critical pass play, 31 yards from Morrison down to Merkovich, and that set up the winning score, or the go-ahead score at the moment, for So Fort Knox, again, that set up the... For Fort Knox, actually, that touchdown, again, Merkovich on the pass play. A couple of plays later, then Wren took it into the end zone for the score. Let's take a look at some scores from the Dennis Bennett & Sons out-of-town scoreboard. Last score we had tonight in that game in Litchfield, they were into the second quarter. Grayson County with a 6-0 lead over Edmonson County in the battle for the tobacco stick. Other scores we're keeping an eye on tonight, and McLean County with a 22-0 lead over Ohio County in that game. That is in the second quarter. That from the Dennis Bennett & Sons out-of-town scoreboard. Doing a quick scan of some other results, see if we have anything else here. Owensboro beginning their season tonight on the road against Christian Academy of Louisville. They're into the third quarter of that game, and Christian Academy of Louisville leading Owensboro by the score of 21-0. And that, again, is a quick check of the Dennis Bennett & Sons scoreboard. Here it is 7-0. Breckinridge County trailing Fort Knox. Tigers were able to keep Knox off the scoreboard for much of the half, but a big pass play on fourth down to find the Eagles inside the 20-yard line. A couple of plays later, Wren takes it in on the touchdown pass from Morrison, and it is a lead in favor of Fort Knox here at the midway point. Halftime show tonight brought to you by Highway 60 Pawn. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
So you've heard us talking about Brandenburg Telecom. We could have chosen any other provider for our phone, internet, TV, and security service, but we chose Brandenburg Telecom.
It is not hard to find a good deal these days. What it is hard to find is a provider that delivers the best value of service. That's exactly what we're getting with Brandenburg Telecom.
They don't trick you with introductory rates.
They don't keep you waiting for service or waiting on the phone.
When they say they're going to do something, they do it.
Brandenburg Telecom are people who live
and work
and play in my community.
They're part of this community, and that's why they care.
If you only have one service with Brandenburg Telecom, you're missing out on their other great services.
Give them a chance.
You won't be disappointed. I'm ready for the burger.
Welcome back to McAdams. Underway, Breckinridge County trailing Fort Knox by the score of 14-0. Coming up next Friday night, the Tigers wrap up their two-game road stand with a trip down to Hancock County. We'll be on the air with our coverage at around 6:45 next Friday night from Lewisport. Before then, we'll have another edition of Inside Tiger Nation. That'll come up Wednesday afternoon at 5. We'll talk with Coach Hovel about tonight's game and preview next week's matchup with Hornets. Also, other interviews with coaches and student athletes as well. Join us for another edition of Inside Tiger Nation at 5 next Wednesday afternoon. Breckinridge County already back out on the field right now. Still have a couple of more minutes before we begin the second half of this game. While we're waiting for that, let's run down some things that are going on with Tiger Sports right now. The boys golf team defeated Grayson County on Monday. They were scheduled to host Hancock County today at the Community Center. Coming up tomorrow, they'll be competing at Lyon County. They'll host Meade County on Monday, then at Hancock on Thursday of next week. The Lady Tiger golf team defeated Grayson County on Monday. They'll be headed to Russell County scheduled tomorrow. Then they'll host Hancock County next Thursday. Lady Tigers soccer defeated Edmonson County for their first win of the season, 1-0 on Tuesday night. They're at Greene County tomorrow, then at Butler County on Thursday night. Lady Tiger volleyball opened their season with a win over Cloverport on Monday. They're taking part in the Summer Slam tournament event held by Owensboro Apollo this weekend down in Owensboro. And the cross-country team is beginning their season. They will take part scheduled for the Run for the Gold meet that's hosted by Elizabethtown tomorrow. Still have some time before the second half gets underway. Let's talk about the schedule for this Fighting Tiger football team. As we mentioned, they're at Hancock County next Friday night at 7 p.m. Their first home game of the season comes up on Labor Day weekend, September the 1st, when they take on Jeffersontown at 6:30 at Tiger Stadium. Louisville Valley on the road will be September 8th at 7:30 Eastern Time. They're at Nelson County on the 15th at 6:30. Another 6:30 start is when they host John Hardin on September 22nd. Then a Thursday night game on September 28th, heading into the fall break. They'll host Bardstown at 6:30 at Tiger Stadium. Back in action on October 13th, where they travel to Thomas Nelson for a 6:30 start in Bardstown. Then they wrap up their season with 2 home games, hosting Grayson County on the 20th at 7 p.m. Then Edmonson County wraps up the regular season on the 27th at 7 p.m. So if you have the opportunity to support Coach Hoddle and the team this season, I'm sure they would appreciate it. Second half action about to get underway here. Breckinridge County will be moving from left to right here in this second half of play. Tigers dressed in white jerseys with maroon pants, maroon and black trim. Fort Knox dressed in green uniforms with gold numbering and white trim. Waiting for the final few seconds to tick off here before we're able to get the second half underway. Isaiah Morrison waiting for the football, which is given to him by the referee. Back deep for the Tigers is Paxton DeWitt, along with Lance Poole. Also, Zach Davis, one of the up men, had an interception back in the first half of play. Morrison with a squib kick, takes it on bounds, picked up by Poole, slips the tackle, gets up to about the 35, dropped at about the 37-yard line. And that's where Breckinridge County will begin their first possession of the second half. You are listening to Breckinridge County High School Fighting Tiger football on WXBC 104.3 FM in Hardinsburg, Kentucky. Just after 8 o'clock Central Time, 9 o'clock Eastern, we are on post at Fort Knox for the season opener for the Fighting Tigers against the Fort Knox Eagles. A late touchdown by the Eagles has given them a 7-0 lead. Breckinridge County has had a little more success running the football. They've actually outgained the Eagles 91 yards to 58. 4 first downs at 4-1, but the problem has been for Breckinridge County coping with success. Here's Liam Clark getting the ball, goes to the left side, turns the corner, gets about 7 or 8 yards, gets out of bounds, knocked out at about the 44-yard line. Actually, I believe they'll move him back to the 43. Give him a gain of about 6 on the play. 2nd down and 4 upcoming. Line to gain is the 47-yard line for Breckinridge County. Parker goes to the slot on the right side of the field. Chase Hardesty will join him. Actually, they'll put Hardesty in the slot. Parker will go wide to the far side of the field. Lance Poole wide to the left side. Back to throw. Actually, here's Burnett going to call his own number. Picks up a first down across midfield. Gets down to about the 50-yard line. About a 6-yard gain on the play. And a Joe Benebacco Plumbing and Rental first down. 5th of the game for Breckinridge County. Spots the ball at the 50-yard line. Just underway here in this third quarter at McAdams Field. 5th first down of the ball game for Breckinridge County, and how the challenge begins for the Tigers as to try and build some consistency after being able to move the football. Poole splits to the left. Compton, Hardesty, and Parker to the right. Clark is the lone setback for Burnett in pistol formation. Makes the handoff. Burnett calls his own number, sweeps to the left side, gets down the field, down close to 40, still on his feet. Actually, they'll knock him out of bounds, slow to get up. But we have a penalty flag thrown at the end of the play. Burnett down to about the 41-yard line. Will be a 9-yard run if it stands. And Knox is celebrating. They're going to say it was a fumble at the end of the play. And Fort Knox recovers. Turnover, Breckinridge County. That will officially be their first turnover of the night as the ball popped loose at the end and Fort Knox comes away with it. And once again, the situation where Breckinridge County picks up a first down, gets a little bit of momentum, but then it goes sideways from there. So Fort Knox will take over the ball at the 36-yard line. Last time Knox touched the ball, they went to the end zone. Morrison under center. Little pass out towards Taylor. Taylor slips the tackle. We get a penalty flag as Taylor will get up to about the 40-yard line before Grant Compton pulls him down. We've got a penalty flag, though, back up the field. 16 penalties in the first half, and we've just tacked on number 17 for the game. As Knox will be backed up. So they will back them up 10 yards to the 26-yard line. Holding is the call against Fort Knox. Ball back to the 26-yard line of Fort Knox with 10:51 remaining here in the third quarter, just underway. Tigers picked up a first down, but then a turnover gave the ball back to the Eagles. Morrison back to throw, pressure coming, pass is deflected. Compton used all of 6'6" to get a paw up and knock that one down. So, incomplete pass. Second down. And about 20.
Second and 20 for the Eagles.
They've got to get to about the 46 of Fort Knox to extend the drive. Morrison in shotgun formation, back to throw, pressure coming. There's another pass batted down. This time they tried to go to the right side of the field, and it was Wyatt Burnett at 6'4" who got his hand on it. So that'll bring up third and long. We'll call it 3rd and 20 for Fort Knox. The ball at the 26-yard line of the Eagles. Tigers could use a 3 and out here, get the ball back. Wren is the setback for Morrison as they run trips to the near side of the field. Deep ball going down the field. It is incomplete, but we're probably going to get a pass interference call as Parker was going step for step with Fielding Childs and never turned around for the football. So, Fort Knox, the only consolation out of this is that it's only a 15-yarder and not a spot foul, but it gives Fort Knox a first down. 15-yard penalty. They'll take the ball. Okay. Well, he's still walking back. If it's pass interference, the official's still walking back unless he's going to go from the spot. No, he's going to actually go from the spot, and even then, he started at the 27. The ball was back at the 26. He called holding on the play, so it's a holding call, not a pass interference call. And actually, it would be third down. It would be fourth down. Sticks says 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Morrison looking over the middle, has a man almost intercepted, intended for Fielding Childs. Pass overthrown. Breck County defender almost had a chance to pull it down. The pass goes incomplete, so it'll be fourth down. And we got a penalty flag, though. Basically, penalty against Fort Knox is penalty decline. Breckinridge County will line up in punt formation here. Davis and Poole standing back inside their 40-yard line. Morrison to attempt his 4th punt of the night. Snap, kick is away. Solid kick, end over end, will be fielded on the run by Davis. Davis tries to slip the tackle, but is met by the second man as the first player, Magalong, grabbed him and held him up for the second to pull him down as Davis tried to get some momentum going.
1 yard gain on the return.
On a 29-yard punt, 1 yard return. Breckinridge County will take over 1st and 10 at their 37-yard line with 10:09 remaining here in the third quarter of play, trailing 7-0 with their second possession of the night in the second half. Tigers got the ball into Fort Knox territory, but then the drive stalled on a turnover. Trips, Parker, Gumpton, and Hardesty to the far side or the left side of the field as Burnett uses offense. They'll hand the football off to Clark. Clark skips through a tackle and gets knocked out of bounds up and around the 44-yard line. Give him about a 6-yard gain. Actually, they'll put him back at about 5. 2nd down and 5. .10:03 remaining here in this third quarter of play. Line to gain is the 47, close to the 48-yard line. Clark is the setback behind Burnett in pistol formation. Burnett will call his own number, fights his way forward, gets up to about the 47-yard line, so give him about 3 yards on the play. Burnett unofficially 10 carries, 64 yards on the night. We get a timeout as we've got a player shaken up. Hunter Davis, number 55, trying to jog off the field, but in a little bit of discomfort as he's bending over. 3rd down and 3 for Breckinridge County. Ball is at the 46-yard line of the Tigers as we move under 10 minutes remaining here in this third quarter. Breckinridge County trails Fort Knox 7-0. Eagles scored late in the first half. Breckinridge County has had some success moving the football, just not of a sustained effort here. Burnett gets the play from the sideline, now checks into the huddle. Grant Compton, Ladarius Parker, and Chase Hardesty to the near side of the field. Lance Poole goes to the far side. Clark is the setback for Burnett. They fake the handoff. Actually, Burnett was going to call his own number, but I believe a player left too early. No, they're going to call offsides Fort Knox. Second penalty of the half against Fort Knox. And that should be enough for a Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental first down, and that is the case. They're moving the sticks. As the ball will go into Fort Knox territory down to the 49-yard line with 9:29 remaining here in this third quarter of play. Burnett back to the huddle for Breckinridge County. Tigers moving from left to right here in this third quarter of play. 6th first down of the ball game for the Tigers, 2 for Fort Knox. Hardesty and Parker go to the left. Compton to the right. They'll bring actually Poole in motion, and now we get a whistle before anything else happens. And going to be a delay of game against Breckinridge County, so the Tigers pick up their first penalty of the second half. 10th penalty of the ball game for 80 yards for the Tigers, and that'll back them up 5 yards.
5-yard penalty, 1st and 15.
First down and 15 for the Tigers. The ball back at the 47-yard line. Hunter Davis checking back into the ball game for Breckinridge County. Checking out is number 70, Cameron Drain. Hardesty splits to the left. Poole to the right. Parker lines up slot left. They'll bring Poole in motion on this play. They hand the football off. They give it to Poole. Poole cuts to the left side, drives his way forward, gets down inside the 45, down to about the 44-yard line. So give him about a 10-yard gain on the play. Makes it 2nd down and 5. Ball will be at the 44-yard line of Fort Knox with 8:35 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers again on the move. Coach Howell exhorting his charges to move ahead with the play here. 2 wide to the near side, 1 wide far side. Burnett gets the snap, now calls his own number, goes up the middle, pushes his way down inside the 40, down to about the 38-yard line. Very close. In fact, they will go ahead and give him a Joe Benevaco Plumbing and Rental first down. 6-yard gain for Burnett. Burnett now 11 carries, 70 yards on the night. Tigers now with 7 first downs of the ball game. Fort Knox late in getting their players on the field here, but gets set. Trips to the near side of the field for Burnett in shotgun. Hand off, Clark, left side, splits the outside, finding his way forward inside the 35, down to about the 34-yard line. 5-yard run for Clark. Takes the ball down to the 34-yard line of Fort Knox. Under 7.5 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Breckinridge County trails Fort Knox 7-0, but putting together their most consistent drive of the night. Trips to the near side of the field. Clark lines up behind Burnett. And we have motion and a penalty against the Tigers. Another penalty against Breckinridge County will back them up 5 yards. That'll make it 2nd down and 10. Ball back at the 39-yard line. Too wide to the near side of the field. They'll bring Poole in motion. They'll give the football to Poole. Ball pops loose. Scramble. Believe Knox has come up with it. Not a clean exchange there between Poole and Burnett. Ball popped loose. Even Knox was surprised themselves. And a turnover will give the ball to Fort Knox. 2nd turnover of the night for Breckinridge County, and it gives the ball to Fort Knox at the 43-yard line with 6:56 to go. So another promising drive for the Tigers stalls out. This one by turnover. And Knox will take over close to midfield with a 7-0 lead. Here's Wren getting the Wildcat snap, gets the football, slips a tackle, trying to fight his way through, picks his way past the 45 up to about the 46-yard line before he's finally pulled down. He'll get about 3 yards on the play. Second down and 7. Ball is at the 46, just past the 46-yard line with 6.5 minutes remaining to go in this 3rd quarter. 7-0 to score. Fort Knox in front. And they have the football back after a Breckinridge County turnover. Wren on the Wildcat snap, drives his way forward, gets up to about the 50-yard line. He'll pick up about 3 yards on the play. Bring up 3rd down and about 3. As a player injured for Fort Knox. While they attend to him, let's go ahead and take a timeout with the score. Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
Do you know what the Breckinridge County Health Department does? We do everything from pool inspections to site evaluations on septic tanks, the WIC program, women's health, immunizations, children and adults, disaster preparedness, and community health education, among many other things. For more information, you can call us at 270-756-5121 or go to our website, BreckinridgeCountyHealthDEPT.org. And good luck, Breckinridge County Fighting Tigers, from all of us at the Breckinridge County Health Department.
It is halftime in Litchfield. Grayson County leading Edmonson County by the score of 14-0. here. 6:06 remaining in the third quarter. Breckinridge County trailing Fort Knox by the score of 7-0. Injured player is Josh Lyons for Fort Knox, number 6. He's able to get up and walk off under his own power. Actually, maybe a little bit of help. But he heads off the field. When play resumes, it'll be 3rd down and 3 for Fort Knox. They've got the ball just shy of midfield. The line to gain is the 47-yard line of Breckinridge County. Morrison in at quarterback. He'll have, actually Morrison will split as a wideout. Wren is operating at the quarterback with Mirkovich as the setback. Wren gets the snap, calls his own number, goes up the middle, drives his way forward, close to a first down. On the spot, might be just short. He's going to be short maybe by about a foot. So that'll bring up 4th and inches for the Eagles as the clock rolls its way down to 5 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here in this third quarter. Fort Knox will have 4th and inches at the 47-yard line of Breckinridge County. Trying to see if they can, I think Fort Knox is trying to argue for a measurement here. As the clock continues to roll, finally, I think we've got an official's timeout, so I think they are going to measure it. Coach Reed, I think, was lobbying for a measurement. He thinks it's close enough. So they will actually clear the sides and bring the chains in to measure. So we stop the clock with 5:14 left to go in this third quarter. Breckinridge County has been able to move the football, but have just struggled. In fact, they've only been inside, I believe, the 31 time tonight. That was thanks to a Wyatt Burnett run, but even then that was thrown off the wayside as a couple of personal foul calls pushed the ball back even into Breckinridge County territory as they're going to measure the sticks out. And maybe by the tip of the football, yes, first down Fort Knox. So did just enough to get across the line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Fort Knox. The ball is at the 47-yard line of Breckinridge County. It's kind of been a switch up of formations as they've been running this recent set with Wren as the quarterback as he operates out of the Wildcat. He'll have Fielding Childs with him to the left. Morrison lines up as a wideout on the right side or far side of the field, 2 wide to each side as Wren awaits the snap. Low snap, Wren gets it, now heads off to the left side, fights his way forward, splits away. Did the ball pop loose at the end of the play? No, it didn't. As Wren pushes his way down to about the 43-yard line. 4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and a long 5. 4.5 minutes left to go here in this third quarter. Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. Low snap, Wren gets the football, now goes to the right side, pushes his way forward, gets about 3 yards before he's taken down by Breckinridge County. And we've got another injured Fort Knox player here. It'll be 3rd down and 2 when play resumes with the clock stopped with 3:59 left to go in this third quarter of play. The score, Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
Get a Holland grill from Irvington Gas Company. The Holland is the most versatile grill on the market today. Besides grilling juicy steaks, chicken, and burgers, you can cook anything from pizza to prime rib, from vegetables to breads and breakfast. Because of its unique cooking system, food will retain its moisture, giving you juicy, tender meats and vegetables each and every time. That's the Holland Grill from Irvington Gas Company, proudly serving you for nearly 80 years. Online at irvingtongas.com.
The third quarter of Fighting Tiger football is brought to you by Hardinsburg Nursing and Rehab on 104.3 The River.
Back with you at McAdams Field on Fort Knox. Lee Bramlett for Fighting Tiger football. It's the season opener between the Tigers and Fort Knox. Injured player was Vaughn Fielding Childs, number 8 for Fort Knox, but he's able to get up and walk under his own power. So
Here we go, offense back on the field.
it'll be third down and short upcoming for Fort Knox. Make it third down on about 3. Ball down to the 42-yard line, third and a long 3. Back to throw Morrison. Looks as a man caught. Merkovich spins away and gets a first down inside the 40 to the 35. Actually spins away down to about the 33-yard line. Got an 8-yard pickup on the play. Merkovich had the big 31-yarder that set up the score as Fort Knox picks up their third first down of this second half. They've got 4 for the ball game. 3:46 remaining here in the third quarter. Here is Wren calling his own number as he tries the left side and is stacked up by a host of Tiger defenders. Paxton DeWitt among them. Wren maybe picks up about a yard. 14 carries, 26 yards on the night. Under 3.5 minutes now to go here in this third quarter. Fort Knox moving after the Tigers turn the ball over.
No gain on the play. Second and 10.
Second down, 10. Morrison back at quarterback for the Eagles and unable to get the play off. So it'll be a delay of game against Fort Knox. They're backed up 5 yards.
Delay of game, one of y'all.
Takes the ball back to about the 39-yard line. Under 3 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. 7-0 the score. Fort Knox leading with the football. They have inside the Breckinridge County 40-yard line. Morrison in shotgun formation, throws a little pass out in the flat. Completed is Taylor. Taylor slips a tackle and spins his way forward down to about the 34-yard line. So give him a gain of about 4 on the play. Call it third down. And we have another player shaken up for this time on the Breckinridge County sideline as they attend to him. We'll take a timeout with the score. Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
Experience the difference of the Big Green Egg ceramic cooker from Irvington Gas Company. It's a smoker, a grill, and oven, all in one. It's easy to start, reaching cooking temperatures in just 10 minutes with temperature control so you can cook to perfection. It's safer to use and it's easy to clean up. Stop by Irvington Gas Company on Highway 79 to see the Big Green Egg and other gas grills available. Irvington Gas Company, serving this area for more than 75 years.
2 minutes, 27 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. It is Fort Knox leading Breckinridge County at 7-0. Injured player on the field is Zach Davis. Davis able to walk off under his own power. Fort Knox right now on a drive that began when they forced a turnover as they recovered a fumble by Breckinridge County. And the Eagles have been on the drive here, and it's been methodical. There's not any big plays, just straight up the middle power football, 3 and 4 yards at a time. Tigers suddenly now struggling to contain this Knox offense. Isaiah Morrison back in at quarterback. They run trips to the near side of the field. 3 receivers to the near side. Low snap from Morrison. He throws the football. It is incomplete. Merkovich, the intended receiver, juggled the pass. And that'll bring up 4th down for Fort Knox. Had Merkovich out in some space, just could not come up with the football, so it brings up 4th and about 12 for Knox. Have to think on this side of the field, Knox will go for it. So the Tigers will need a stop here to get the football back, as they have been able to move the football a little better, just need to hang on to it. And we'll get motion as Breckinridge County player jumped the sideline, so it'll be an offsides penalty against the Tigers. That's their 3rd of the half. It just moves the ball in a little closer. Instead of 3rd and 12, it's now 3rd and 7. The ball just inside the 30-yard line of Breckinridge County. Lyons is the setback for Morrison. Again, trips to the near side of the field. Morrison checks the sidelines, now checks the play. Gets the snap. Morrison under pressure, throws, looking for a man down the field, and it is intercepted. Poole came up with it, stepped in front of the receiver. Good news for the Tigers is it's a turnover. That'll be the 2nd turnover of the night. That's the good news. The bad news is Breckinridge County will be backed up as the ball will be spotted down at the 4-yard line of Breckinridge County. 2nd interception of the night by Morrison. And the Tigers take over with 2:07 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Still 7-0 is the score. Burnett right on his goal line has Liam Clark in the backfield. Here is Burnett, just goes right up the middle, drives the pile forward, gets up close to the 10-yard line. Give him about a 5-yard gain on the play. Burnett 12 carries for 75 yards on the night. Takes the ball to about the 9-yard line as we're inside of 2 minutes remaining here in this 3rd quarter of play. Three receivers split to the left. One to the right is Poole. Clark stationed behind Burnett, and the whistle blows. And a timeout, Breckinridge County. With 1:25 left to go here in the 3rd quarter, it is Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River and WXBC1043.com.
How many times have you called someplace and heard this?
For customer service, press 1.
At First State Bank, when you call one of their 3 locations, you'll hear this.
First State Bank, this is Michelle. How may I help you?
From opening a checking or savings account to home or commercial loans, you'll get a friendly voice ready to assist with your banking needs. Call or stop by today and find out why for more than 100 years, First State Bank, where your friends bank. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Online at County takes their first time out of the half. 2nd down and 5, ball will be at the 9-yard line of the Tigers after Lance Poole with an interception to kill a Fort Knox drive. Here's the give to the outside. Parker turns to the outside, drives forward, gets up past the 15 to the 20. And they will actually go down to about the 19-yard line, gain of 10. And that should be good enough for a Joe Bennett backhoe plumbing and rental first down for Breckinridge County. 8th first down of the ball game for the Tigers as they go up to the 19-yard line, trailing 7-0 in this game. 1 minute 11 seconds remaining here in this 3rd quarter. Chase Hardesty and Grant Kempton to the near side of the field. One wide to the far side. Actually make it 3 on the near side of the field. Burnett hands the football off to Liam Clark. Clark pushes his way forward past the 20 to about the 23-yard line. Give him about a 4-yard gain on the play as we move inside the final minute of this third quarter of play. Again, Tigers doing a good job running the football tonight. Just need to do it consistently here. As they move down the field, it'll be a second down and about 6 at the 23-yard line. Burnett in pistol formation. And we get a whistle before anything else happens. We'll see who's guilty of this one. It'll be an offsides call against Fort Knox. That is their 11th penalty of the night, the Eagles, for 60 yards. So 2nd and 6 becomes 2nd and a long 3. Inside the final seconds of this fourth quarter, or this third quarter. Low snap. Here's the pitch outside. Clark tries to turn the corner. Should have it up for the first down as he gets up past the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Clock stops with 8.2 seconds remaining in the quarter. About a 8-yard gain on the play by Clark. And did Fort Knox timeout called by Fort Knox with 8.2 seconds remaining. Fort Knox takes their first timeout of the half. Breckinridge County will have it 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line of the Eagles. Trailing 7-0. This drive began back on the 4-yard line. Clock will run out before anything else can happen, so we have reached the end of 3 here on Fort Knox. Tonight's third quarter has been brought to you by Hardinsburg Nursing and Rehab. The score, Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River and WXBC1043.com.
If you need home medical equipment, rely on Taylor Pharmacy. They deliver home medical equipment such as oxygen, lift chairs, hospital beds, and CPAP machines to Breckinridge and surrounding counties. They have everything a patient needs for recuperating at home. Taylor Pharmacy does so much more than fill prescriptions. They carry a full line of diabetic chews, have a gift department, and of course make delicious tailor-made fudge in a variety of flavors that include sugar-free. Stop by Taylor Pharmacy in Hardinsburg and see why your family and the Taylor Pharmacy family make a good team.
Through 3 quarters, Breckinridge County has outgained Fort Knox in this ball game, unofficially 156-81. They picked up 9 at Joe Bennett backhoe plumbing and metal first downs of the game to Fort Knox's 4. But the telling stat of this game has been turnovers. Breckinridge County with 2, Fort Knox with 2. And those penalties have been ones that have killed potentially promising drives. As play resumes here, it'll be 1st and 10, Breckinridge County. They'll have the ball at the Fort Knox, or at their own 31-yard line, in a drive that began back on the 4-yard line of the Tigers after Lance Poole made an interception. A reminder, coming up at the conclusion of the game, we will be selecting a Subway player of the game. Brought to you by Subway on Old Highway 60 in Hardinsburg. Poole goes in motion. They hand the football off to Poole, who swings to the far side. Poole tries to turn the corner, gets positive yardage, still on his feet. Close, in fact, should have a first down up at around the 45-yard line. So they'll give Poole about a 13-yard gain on the play. Another Joe Bennett backhoe plumbing and rental first down for Breckinridge County, their 10th of the game. Takes the ball up to the 44-yard line. Actually, they're going to move him back. They're going to say back about 3 yards. Back to about the 41-yard line. This drive began back on the 4 of Breckinridge County. 11:25 left in regulation. Tigers trail 7-0. Here is Burnett calling his own number. Heads down the right side. Gets up close to midfield. He'll get about 8 yards on the play. And another Fort Knox player shake it up, as the clock will stop at 11:05 to go here in this fourth quarter of play. Again, if you're just coming across the dial, the lone score of this game coming right before halftime when Isaiah Morrison hit R.J. Wren with a 14-yard touchdown pass with 21 seconds left in the half. An extra point made it 7-0. Breckinridge County has been able to move the football, just have been short-circuited by penalties and turnovers. We talked about it earlier. The Tigers needed to stay ahead of the sticks as they are still attending to the injured player for Fort Knox. While they attend to him, let's go ahead and take a break with the score. Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing. This is Fighting Tigers Sports from 104.3 The River.
Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rentals been in business since 1973 and are still going strong and growing. They carry the largest selection of rental equipment in the area. They can also take care of all your residential and commercial plumbing needs. They haul rock, install cisterns, dig footers, basements, and backfill around your home. Call 270-756-2946. That's Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental, located on Old Highway 60 in Hardinsburg. A proud supporter of Breckinridge County and the Fighting Tigers.
Injured player for Fort Knox was number 17, Robert Magalong, a 5'6" sophomore. Had to be helped off, was able to walk off towards the end of getting off the field as Wyatt Burnett calls his own draw play straight up the middle, gets it into Fort Knox territory down at about the 44-yard line. And that'll be good for another Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental first down. 7-yard pickup on the play. Burnett now 14 carries, 90 yards on the night. Breckinridge County has the ball down to the Fort Knox 44-yard line with 10:50 left to go in regulation. Tigers trail 7-0. Lance Poole goes to the right side. They'll put trips to the left side of the field. Burnett takes the handoff. Burnett calls his own number, goes to the right side. First down yardage and out of bounds very quickly as he'll get the ball inside the 35-yard line. Down to about the 34. Give him a gain of about 10 on the play. Burnett now 15 carries for 100 yards unofficially on the night. Ball down to the 34-yard line of Fort Knox for another Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental first down. 8th first down of the half for Breckinridge County. Burnett gets the snap. Again, calls his own number, goes right up the middle, slips a tackle. Gets the ball down inside the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Give him a gain of about 6 on the play. And before anything else happens, we're going to get a timeout, Fort Knox.
Timeout, Fort Knox.
Eagles will take their second timeout with 10:08 remaining in the ball game with the score, Fort Knox 7, Breckinridge County nothing.
At Wright Implement, you'll find the full line of John Deere mowers, gators, tractors, ag equipment, John Deere apparel, toys, and more, along with a complete line of Steel and Honda power equipment. And we have a parts and service department that's second to none. Wright Implement has 15 locations throughout Kentucky and southern Indiana to serve you. The right equipment, the right service, and always the right price. Wright Implement, serving great customers like you since 1936. Online at wrightimp.com.
10:08 left to go in regulation. Breckinridge County has the ball inside the 30-yard line. A drive that began back at the 4-yard line of the Tigers. 10:08 left to go in this ball game. Breckinridge County trails 7-0, but have put together a drive here, mostly on the legs of Burnett and Clark. Burnett calls his own number again, goes the right side, just pounds his way through, drives his way forward inside of the 20 down to about the 14-yard line. A 13-yard pickup on the play, and that'll be good for another Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental first down for Breckinridge County. Ball down to about the 13 of Fort Knox as we move under 10 minutes left to go in this ball game. Tigers trail 7-0, but on the march here. Burnett again calls his own number. This time Knox plugs up the hole. Again tries the right side. And Burnett, even with that, still picks up about 3 yards on the play. Gets the ball down to about the 11-yard line. 9.5 minutes to go in this contest. Tigers trying to get on the board here. Close it to within 1. And then we'll see if they go for 1 or 2 here. But right now, still the matter of about 10 yards to go to pick up a first down and then a score. Burnett has the football. No, Burnett fakes the handoff, drives his way forward, gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Breckinridge County. Wyatt Burnett, who has been carrying the load here for the Tigers, takes it in for the score, the first score of the night for Breckinridge County. And with 8:58 left in regulation, Breckinridge County, an extra point from a tie, a 2-point conversion away from taking the lead. And you'd have to think Breckinridge County will go for 2 here. Parker splits to the right. Compton to the left. 2 in the backfield for Burnett in pistol formation. Here is Burnett. Calls his own number, pushes his way forward, and is in for the 2-point conversion. A 96-yard drive for the Tigers. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run by Burnett. The 2-point conversion is good, and Breckinridge County takes the lead with 8:57 remaining in the ball game with the score. Breckinridge County 8, Fort Knox 7. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
So you've heard us talking about Brandenburg Telecom. And we could have chosen any other provider for our phone, internet, TV, and security service, but we chose Brandenburg Telecom.
It is not hard to find a good deal these days. What it is hard to find is a provider that delivers the best value of service. That's exactly what we're getting with Brandenburg Telecom.
They don't trick you with introductory rates.
They don't keep you waiting for service or waiting on the phone.
When they say they're going to do something, they do it.
Brandenburg Telecom are people who live
and work
and play in my community.
They're part of this community, and that's why they care.
If you only have one service with Brandenburg Telecom, you're missing out on their other great services.
Give them a chance.
You won't be disappointed. I'm ready for the burger.
Breckinridge County marches 96 yards, most of it on the legs of Wyatt Burnett, who takes it in for a score and then converts the 2-point try. And the Tigers, after trailing much of the night since halftime, have now pulled ahead of this game against Fort Knox by the score of 8-7. Now the Tiger defense will be charged with making a stop in a game right now that has turned really into a slugfest. Both teams really just running the football up the middle at each other. So it may well come down to a contest of who can stop the other at the line of scrimmage. Burnett now unofficially on the night. I have him with 19 carries for 136 yards and a touchdown. Tigers outgaining the Eagles here tonight. But the Tiger defense will be called here to make a stop as we had a Fort Knox player injured on the 2-point conversion as they are still attending to him right now on the field. And now they're getting the player back up. Now, the injured player able to walk off the field under his own power. I believe that's going to be number 58, Nathan Morgan. A 6-foot freshman. He's able to get back up off the field, and we'll get back to play here in just a moment. Tigers taking their first lead of the night. And, of course, you talk about that drive, though, all of that was set up, though, by the interception by Lance Poole. But now it is the Tiger defense that is going to have to make a stand here. Burnett will tee the ball up with 8:57 left in regulation. Fort Knox, by my count, is down to 1 timeout. Although there was some question as to whether or not they took a timeout late in the half or late in the third quarter. Not sure if that was the set or not. Knox getting their players on the field right now. It's going to be a little squib kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 43-yard line. So Fort Knox takes over with reasonable field position. 8:51 left in regulation. Breckinridge County with an 8-7 lead over Fort Knox. Tigers get on the board thanks to Wyatt Burnett. And now the Tiger defense will have to come up with a stop here as Fort Knox with the football. Again, they go back to L.J. Wren at quarterback. Morrison jets off the field. Josh Lyons in the backfield with Wren. Knox moving from left to right as we view them here in this quarter. Here is Wren, tries to play up the left side and gets limited yardage, maybe about one on the play. 15 carries, 27 yards on the night for Wren. Now they bring Morrison back in as they have been running quarterback by committee tonight. Wren, Morrison, and Taylor have all taken snaps in this ball game. 8.5 minutes left to go in the contest. Breckinridge County leads by a point. Fort Knox with the football with 2nd down and 9 from the 44-yard line of the Eagles. Morrison back in at quarterback, shotgun formation. 2 receivers to each side for the Eagles. Play clock down to 3, bit of a low snap. Morrison throws. Here is a pass intended for Wren, and he is bottled up, and he's going to lose yardage back inside the 40 to maybe about the 37, make it the 36-yard line. Loss of almost 10 on the play. So make it 3rd and about 19. 7.5 minutes to go in this ball game, and you start to think right now, if you're Fort Knox, is this 2-down territory here? Morrison in shotgun formation, 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Morrison rolling to his right, pressure coming, looking, throwing, has a man out there, incomplete. Overthrown, intended for Ladarius Purter. So 4th down upcoming, and Coach Reed's going to have to make a decision here. Reed conferring with his quarterback. And Breckinridge County will take a timeout with 7:21 left to go in this ball game. Score Breckinridge County 8, Fort Knox 7. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
Experience the difference of the Big Green Egg ceramic cooker from Irvington Gas Company. It's a smoker, a grill, and oven, all in one. It's easy to start, reaching cooking temperatures in just 10 minutes with temperature control so you can cook to perfection. It's safer to use and it's easy to clean up. Stop by Irvington Gas Company on Highway 79 to see the Big Green Egg and other gas grills available. Irvington Gas Company, serving this area for more than 75 years.
Are you aware of all the healthcare services offered right here in Breckinridge County? Allison Mattingly here from Breckinridge Health to let you know there are so many services we provide right here so you don't have to travel far. Surgery, new providers, ear, nose, and throat, outpatient therapy services, cardiac rehab, and so much more. To find out more about the services offered, call 270-756-7000 or go to www.mybreckhealth.org.
4th down and 19 upcoming for Fort Knox. The ball is scored at the 36-yard line of the Eagles, and it looks like Knox giving indication they're going to punt the football away as Morrison settles back in punt formation. Poole and Davis back awaiting the kick. 7:21 left to go in this ball game. Breckinridge County nursing a 1-point lead. Snap, Morrison gets it away, end over end kick. It'll be fielded by Poole, loses the handle. But fortunately, Davis falls on it back at about the 37-yard line. So with 7:13 left to go, Breckinridge County takes over, leading by just 1 point. Both teams by my count with one timeout remaining, although there might be a question in terms of Fort Knox. There was a timeout they took late in the third quarter. At least it was announced as a timeout. They can only stop the clock once at this point, so Breckinridge County takes over at the 37-yard line with 7:13 left to go in this game, leading 8-7. Tigers went on a monumental 96-yard drive, powered by Burnett and Clark as they move the ball down the field. And the Tigers now trying to close this one out and pick up a win. But still a long way to go, both in distance and yardage. As we get a penalty, I believe, against the Tigers. Another penalty against Breckinridge County. Takes the ball back to about the 27-yard line. As the Knox Partisans underneath us here at McAdams Field trying to exhort their side on. Three receivers to the far side of the field. Lance Poole set up to the near side. Here is Burnett calling his own number. Burnett slips his way through, fights his way forward to about the 30, bounces out of a tackle, slips another tackle up to about the 35. We get a penalty flag thrown late and believe we're going to get a block in the back. So this is probably coming back for Breckinridge County as Burnett made up great yardage up to about the 36. But I've got a feeling this one is coming back from the preliminary indications. Block in the back against Breckinridge County, so that wipes out the run. So that basically wipes out the run and actually puts them a little further back. Actually, it's going to be a spot foul. The penalty occurred at the 37. So that's probably going to take them back inside the 25, all the way back to about the 21-yard line. Actually, let's say the flag occurred at the 31. 7:02 left to go in this ball game. So Breckinridge County, where they were facing 2nd and 1, now faces a 1st and 19. Under 7 minutes left to go in this ball game. Here is the give to Clark. Clark slips a tackle, fights his way through, gets a lot of it back. Driving forward, gets up to about the 35-yard line. So it looks like Clark gets about 12 of it back. They'll spot the ball at the 33-yard line to give Clark about a 12-yard gain. And that clock continues to run, now down to 6:20 left to go in this ball game. 2nd down, make it about 6. Ball is at the 32, close to the 33-yard line. Tigers trying to bleed every second off the clock they can, but still need to move the football. Play clock down to 4, down to 3. Burnett gets the snap, calls his own number, slips a tackle, pushes his way forward. 1st down yardage, still on his feet, breaking tackles, gets inside the 49 into Fort Knox territory, down at about the 49-yard line. Give Burnett about an 18-yard gain on the play. That'll be good for another Joe Bannett backhoe plumbing and rental 1st down. Takes the ball to midfield. Under 5, make it under 6 minutes to go in this ball game, and that clock starts to roll. 5:45 left to go in this game. Ball will be scored at the 49-yard line of Fort Knox. Tigers trying to bleed off every second they can. Poole splits to the right, 3 receivers to the left. Clark is the setback. They'll give the football to Clark as he just fights his way forward. Gets down to about the 46-yard line. Picks up about 3 on the play. Make it 2nd down and 7 for Breckinridge County. Looks like Riley Grant hobbling just a bit, but trying to fight through it here for the Tigers. As we move under 5 minutes left to go in this game. Breckinridge County 8, Fort Knox 7. A Wyatt Burnett touchdown And two-point conversion is the difference in this ball game at the moment. Burnett in pistol formation, calls his own number, goes to the right side or left side. Burnett fights his way forward, and he just wraps up that football to make sure that they don't punch it away from him. Gain of about 7 on the play. So call it 3rd and a long 3. Ball down to the close to the 42-yard line of Fort Knox. 4:10 remaining in this ball game. We'll see an interesting call here if Breckinridge County Tigers will try to pick up another first down, which would burn more time off the clock. 2 in the backfield. Burnett gets the snap. Hands the football off to Clark. Clark picks his way through, fights his way forward. Should have very close to the first down. It'll depend on the spot. Tigers have not gotten particularly favorable spots in this ball game. But if it's where the ball is marked, and that should be more about a yard. Needed 3, got 4, picks up the first down. Another Joe Bennett backhoe plumbing and rental first down for Breckinridge County. And the clock continues to roll now down to 3:20 left to go in this ball game. 1st and 10 for Breckinridge County. The ball is at the 39-yard line of Fort Knox. Tigers continuing to try to burn off as much clock as they can here. Burnett, bit of a low snap, gives it to, actually fakes the handoff now. Burnett to the right side, hits open field to the 30, down to the 20, and knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. And they will mark him down right at the 20. And that'll be good for another Joe Bennett backhoe plumbing rental first down. Burnett unofficially 22 carries, 177 yards on the night, but more importantly, another Joe Bennett backhoe plumbing and rental first down. Takes the ball inside the 20 down to the 19-yard line. And the clock continues to roll. 2:45 left to go in this ball game. Tigers moving from right to left. 2 to the near side of the field. Clark is the setback behind Burnett. He'll call his own number now. Angles off to the left. Finds some open room. Still on his feet. Inside the 10. Inside the 5. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Breckinridge County. A 19-yard touchdown run from Wyatt Burnett, his second of the night. And with 2:18 left to go in the game, Breckinridge County extends their lead to 14-7. And Tigers will go for 2 here. Burnett gives the ball to Clark. Clark tries to turn to the outside. This time Fort Knox able to get to him. So the 2-point conversion is no good. But Burnett's second touchdown of the night gives Breckinridge County a 14-7 lead with 2 minutes, 18 seconds left to go in this ball game. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River and WXBC1043.com.
Do you know what the Breckinridge County Health Department does? We do everything from pool inspections to site evaluations on septic tanks, the WIC program, women's health, immunizations, children and adults, disaster preparedness, and community health education, among many other things. For more information, you can call us at 270-756-5121 or go to our website, BreckinridgeCountyHealthDEPT.org. And good luck, Breckinridge County Fighting Tigers, from all of us at the Breckinridge County Health Department.
Fourth quarter brought to you by Commonwealth Machining on Rupert Askins Lane in Harnett. Lee Bramlett with you. 2 Wyatt Burnett touchdowns here in the fourth quarter have given Breckinridge County a 14-7 lead. 2 minutes, 18 seconds left to go in the game. Breckinridge County presumably one more stop will go a long way to closing this game out. But remember, Knox struck late in the half there. The two-point conversion huge just a moment ago, as had he converted that would have made it a two-score game. Right now, still a 7-point game. Touchdown and extra point would tie. Wyatt Burnett will kick the ball away for Breckinridge County. Again, by my numbers, Knox with only one timeout to use. And here is a little squib kick. It'll be fielded actually down at about the 38-yard line, as Knox just simply trapped it and fell on the football. So with 2:13 left to go in this game, Fort Knox will have to march 62 yards, needing a touchdown and an extra point to tie this game. Breckinridge County would need just one stop here. And you would have to think at this point, while this has become in the second half more of a game of line up and just run up the middle, Knox would have to start throwing the football here. Morrison has put it up 16 times, has completed 6 of the passes, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. They'll put Putter in motion, but before anything else happens, we get a whistle and a false start against Fort Knox. So the Eagles' path has just been made 5 yards harder, as that will back the ball up to the about the 33-yard line. No time off the clock, though. Morrison gets the play from the sidelines for the Eagles. Morrison checks the playbook. Down to 7, down to 6. Knox partisans urging them to hurry up. Down to 2, down to 1. And Knox is forced to take their timeout.
Timeout. Okay.
By my book, this would be their final timeout. Now, again, the question is, they were charged with their first timeout late in the third quarter. So if this is the case, Fort Knox is out of timeouts by my book, but that may not be necessarily the case on the field. 2 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in this ball game as you're listening to Fighting Tiger football from 104.3 The River WXBC in Hardinsburg, Kentucky. Lee Bramlett with you from McAdams Field at Fort Knox High School. Just after 9 o'clock on this season opening Friday night of football, Breckinridge County rallied from a halftime deficit behind 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns from Wyatt Burnett, and they have taken a 14-7 lead. But still 2:12 left to go in this ball game. Fort Knox, 67 yards and an extra point away from tying the game. Tiger defense looking maybe for one stop, a turnover or turnover on downs. Knox was very close to committing another penalty, but Morrison in shotgun formation, low snap. Morrison under pressure, evades the rush, looks, throws, has a man over the middle, tipped to the air, incomplete. I believe Lyons was the intended receiver, but that one got tipped up in the air. Second down and 10, second down and 15. 2:06 left to go in this ball game. Knox has to get to the 48-yard line to continue this drive. Lyons stations to the right of Morrison. And we get a whistle. Actually, I believe they're setting the football. Actually, they move the football back a yard to line it up with the chains. 2:06 left to go in this ball game. Second down and 15 for Knox. 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Morrison with Lyons stationed to his right. Low snap. They're going to throw a little screen pass out to Wren. Wren slips 1 tackle, tries to slip 2, 3, and 4, and does not do it. In fact, he's probably even going to lose some yardage. Maybe waiting to see if they mark the... Actually, they're going to mark him, I think, as no gain on the play. Actually, they will say he lost about a yard on the play. Third down, 16, 1:40. The clock continues to roll. Third down and 16 for Fort Knox as they send Jacob Taylor as a wide out to the left side of the field. 3 receivers to the near side of the field. Shotgun formation again from Morrison. Morrison, time to throw, looks over the middle, has a man, had it, tried to make a one-arm catch a la Odell Beckham Jr., just could not pull it in. And it is 4th down, and what may well be the ball game here. 4th down, make it about 16. Ball scored at the 34-yard line. Fort Knox needs a first down. They've got to get the ball to the 48-yard line. 1:21 left to go in this ball game. This is the ball game for all intents and purposes. Knox one play to try to stay alive. Breckinridge County one stop to close it out. And apparently Knox did have that timeout. Apparently it was announced as a timeout, but they have taken now what should be their third and final timeout with 1:21 left to go in the ball game. Breckinridge County 14, Fort Knox 7. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
How many times have you called someplace and heard this?
For customer service, press 1.
At First State Bank, when you call one of their 3 locations, you'll hear this.
First State Bank, this is Michelle. How may I help you?
From opening a checking or savings account to home or commercial loans, you'll get a friendly voice ready to assist with your banking needs. Call or stop by today and find out why for more than 100 years, First State Bank, where your friends bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Online at firststatebankky.com.
This is your ball game, folks. 4th down. Morrison looks, throws over the middle, incomplete. Breckinridge County will hold on. They were looking for L.J. Wren over the middle, but the pass overthrown. And that will do it. Breckinridge County from here should be able to take the victory formation and get the win here this evening as they were able to rally from 7-0 down with 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, a dramatic 96-yard drive. And Breckinridge County just a couple of kneel downs away from winning this game. A gutsy performance here tonight for the Tigers as they struggled really throughout much of the night, really deep into the 3rd quarter, but a big interception by Lance Poole set up the Tigers deep in their own territory. They marched down the field. Wyatt Burnett with a 13-yard touchdown as Breckinridge County will take their final timeout with 1:11 left to go in the game. Tigers got a stop, got the ball back, then marched down the field again, with this time Burnett taking it in from 19 yards out. So with 1:11 left to go in the game, Breckinridge County simply has to protect the football, and they will snap their 11-game losing skid and open the season with a win. A hard-fought win here tonight as the Tigers simply played smash-mouth football as they marched the ball down the field at will. Wyatt Burnett, who at one point I thought had been ejected from the football game back in the first half, he was not. And the difference has been huge in this game. Burnett will go under center. And again, simply make a clean exchange from center to quarterback. Goes under center. We'll probably have to snap the ball twice, and that should do it. Down to 5, down to 4. He'll take the knee with about 3 seconds remaining. Inside the final minute, Tigers will have to take one more knee, and that should do it. Tigers will have to snap the ball one more time, and that will do it. A gutsy performance here tonight for the Tigers as they fought their way back into this ball game with 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns from Wyatt Burnett. Burnett unofficially will finish the night. 25 carries for 192 yards. He takes the knee, and that will do it. Breckinridge County claims victory in the season opener as they rally from a halftime deficit to beat Fort Knox here tonight by the final score of 14-7. Tonight's fourth quarter has been brought to you by Commonwealth Machining on Rupert Askins Lane in Harnett. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River.
Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Breckinridge County High School alumni Matt Mattingly and Katie Critchlow at Legacy Physical Therapy salute you, Breckinridge County, and support Breckinridge County sports. Legacy Physical Therapy is an outpatient physical therapy clinic proudly serving Breckinridge County with that Tiger pride. Located at 237 Highway 60 in Hardinsburg, Matt Mattingly and Katie Critchlow and their staff are very proud to serve their patients and their community. At Legacy Physical Therapy, they treat people, not patients.
Back with you at McAdams Field on post at Fort Knox, where the Breckinridge County Fighting Tigers have snapped an 11-game losing skid dating back to the end of the 2021 season as they have defeated the Fort Knox Eagles tonight 14-7. It was a struggle, though. Both teams going much of the first half scoreless before Fort Knox was able to get on the board. And Isaiah Morrison, 14-yard touchdown pass to R.J. Wren made the score 6-0 with Morrison's extra point, giving Fort Knox a 7-0 lead at halftime. Breckinridge County continued to struggle as they had a couple of possessions ending in turnovers, but then Breckinridge County perhaps got the biggest turnover of the night in their favor as Lance Poole intercepted a pass deep in Fort Knox territory. The Tigers took over late in the third quarter at their 4-yard line, then marched 96 yards to the go-ahead score of the ball game, coming with about 8 minutes, just under 9 minutes to go. Wyatt Burnett, a 13-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion gave Breckinridge County an 8-7 lead. Tigers were able to force a 3-and-out, then again march down the field. Wyatt Burnett putting the insurance touchdown on the board, a 19-yard touchdown run with 2:18 left to go. The 2-point conversion was no good. That made it 14-7. Breckinridge County was forcing a turnover on downs to end the game, and the Tigers come away with the win here tonight by the final score of 14-7. Taking a look at the stats here quickly. First, the team stats. First for Breckinridge County. They will finish the night with 16 Joe Bennett backhoe Plumbing and Rental first downs. They ran the ball 42 times for 269 yards, 4 of 17 passing for 41 yards on the night. 310 yards total offense, had 2 turnovers in the ball game. One area of concern for Coach Otto will be those penalties, 14 for 110 yards on the night. Across the way for Fort Knox, they finished the night with 4 first downs. They ran the ball 21 times for 27 yards, 7 of 20 passing for 45 yards. Total offense was 72, had 2 turnovers in the ball game, both being interceptions. They committed 12 penalties in the ball game for 65 yards. Looking at the individual stats for tonight, first for Breckinridge County, running the football, of course, the big night going to Wyatt Burnett. Unofficially, I have him 25 carries for 192 yards and 2 touchdowns. Liam Clark ran the ball 11 times for 53 yards. Ladarius Parker had 3 carries for 6 yards. And also Poole finishing the night with 3 carries on 16 yards for Lance Poole. Throwing the football, Burnett finishing the night on 5 of 17 on the night for 41 yards. No interceptions. Receiving, Liam Clark had a 21-yarder. Ladarius Parker had 2 for 9. Then Grant Compton 1 for 12. For Fort Knox, their stat line looks like this. Leading rusher in the ballgame was R.J. Wren, finishing 15 carries for 27 yards. Isaiah Morrison, 1 carry for 6 yards. It was Ladarius Herder with 3 carries, no yards. Also, Jacob Taylor, 2 carries, -6 yards. Throwing the football, Morrison was 7 of 20 on the night for 20 yards, for 45 yards, but 2 interceptions and a touchdown. Wren finishing the night with 3 catches for 4 net yards, 1 touchdown. Fielding Childs, 1 reception for 4 yards. Jacob Taylor, 1 catch for 4 yards. And Rob Merkovich, 2 catches for 39 yards. 14-7 is the final. Breckinridge County wins it over Fort Knox. Hopefully we will get some comments from Coach Brent Hoddle here coming up in just a couple of minutes. We'll also do a quick check of the Dennis Bennett & Sons scoreboard, tell you the scores we have this evening. We'll continue that, though, in just a couple of minutes. This is the postgame show brought to you by TGH Machine and Welding, The Print Place, and Beachy Dogs from 104.3 The River.
If you need home medical equipment, rely on Taylor Pharmacy. They deliver home medical equipment such as oxygen, lip chairs, hospital beds, and CPAP machines to Breckinridge and surrounding counties. They have everything a patient needs for recuperating at home. Taylor Pharmacy does so much more than fill prescriptions. They carry a full line of diabetic shoes, have a gift department, and of course make delicious tailor-made fudge in a variety of flavors that include sugar-free. Stop by Taylor Pharmacy in Hardinsburg and see why your family and the Taylor Pharmacy family make a good team.
Back with you at McAdams Field on post. Lee Bramlett joined by Breckinridge County Fighting Tiger coach Brent Hoddle. The Tigers rally for a 14-7 win over Fort Knox here. And Brent, first thing, an interesting game here. First half, you were doing some things right. Momentum just, you couldn't get anything consistently going. You'd make a big play, then get behind the sticks. Things went rough for you. Kind of continued into the second half, but Lance Poole's interception really changed the tenor of this game.
I'll reserve comments so I won't get myself in trouble. But, yeah, like I said, I thought it was one of those issues where, it's first game, but, we had to be 200 yards of penalties. And, you go have a big play. And then that was my fault one time. I was on the field trying to protect our kids. And, they're trying to land, Wyatt's over here getting shoved out the fence, and they call one on him. So it's one of those deals. But, yeah, I'm just proud of the way kids fought. Lance made a big play there. It's one of those, he's a first-year guy that we were hoping he kind of knocked that down and give us a little better field position. But to go on a 96-yard drive in that situation for a touchdown's huge. And, that's learning. I don't care if you win a game by 1, 50, 7, whatever. For credit Fort Knox. They came out here, our kids flew around just like ours did. Like I said, they were fired up, and that was just a heck of a ball game. It was awesome.
Talk about that fourth quarter. Again, basically it was just smash-mouth football. You ran Liam, you ran Wyatt just down their throats, maybe shot a little bit off tackle on them, but you were able to march down, of course, the big 96-yard drive. But then I thought in the fourth quarter, you imposed your will. You got them off the field again, then burned off another 4.5 minutes to get the second touchdown.
And credit them defensively. They did a good job taking away. We like to chuck it and get Lance and our guys involved, and their corners and safeties, and their coaches had a really good game plan for kind of taking away what we wanted. But, yeah, like you said, when you have something like that going, you got three guys, you challenge your kids at halftime. We saw them because they were confused about some things at half. We showed them on the film, and kind of they checked that off pretty quick. And once they saw that, though, I think they kind of understood what they were supposed to do and just challenged them, imposed the will and took it at them. And just proud of them, man. A kid like Wyatt just battling his butt off there.
And again, at one point, I thought the official here was signaling that he was ejected because he kept pointing towards the
and
side.
that's why I got mine, because I was like, there's no way you can eject my kid for doing that when they damn near shoved him out the fence.
So, but again, a game, but this is also something as well. When everything is not going well, things are going off the rails, this team dug down, found a way, made the stops, and that's how you win games. It doesn't matter if it's pretty. Like you said, at least get the W and move on. Then you can get ready next week for
Well, I was incredibly proud of our defense. It was one of those things that you have one play. We gave up one play defensively the entire game. It was that 1 4th and 15 pass where Huddy just kind of got juked out a little bit. That's a tough matchup for him. But one play. Other than that, they didn't have – I don't know how many first downs they even had, but it wasn't too many. And just super proud of them. And that's like – we've been maligned last year, everybody talking about how we can't stop people. To go out and do that tonight, Fort Knox is going to score a lot of points on people. They've got some athletes that do some good stuff, man. And like I said, just proud of the way we dug down. It wasn't pretty, but it rarely is sometimes in the first part of the season. By golly, we found a way, and that's just a testament to these kids. And, snapping that, and these kids got a taste of victory, and I think you're going to see them continue to get better.
Get a chance to celebrate this one, then get to work over Hancock County. We'll talk more about this one and Hancock County on Wednesday. But for right now, Brent, enjoy this one on the road back home. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks, everybody. We got one more road game, and we'll see everybody in a couple weeks at home.
Breckinridge County Fighting Tiger football coach Brent Hoddle with us on Inside, or actually on Fighting Tiger Sports. We will do a quick check of the Dennis Bennett & Sons scoreboard and wrap things up here from Post in just a moment as you're listening to Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River, WXBC1043.com, and the 104.3 The River mobile app.
Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rentals been in business since 1973 and are still going strong and growing. They carry the largest selection of rental equipment in the area. They can also take care of all your residential and commercial plumbing needs. They haul rock, install cisterns, dig footers, basements, and backfill around your home. Call 270-756-2946. That's Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental, located on Old Highway 60 in Hardinsburg, a proud supporter of Breckinridge County and the Fighting Tigers. Once a Tiger, always a Tiger. Breckinridge County High School alumni Matt Mattingly and Katie Critchlow at Legacy Physical Therapy salute you, Breckinridge County, and support Breckinridge County sports. Legacy Physical Therapy is an outpatient physical therapy clinic proudly serving Breckinridge County with that Tiger pride. Located at 237 Highway 60 in Hardinsburg, Matt Mattingly and Katie Critchlow and their staff are very proud to serve their patients and their community. At Legacy Physical Therapy, they treat people, not patients.
Back with you at Fort Knox. Lee Bramlett about to wrap things up here. Before we leave, though, one final check of the Dennis Bennett & Sons out-of-town scoreboard. Final score, Butler County defeating Russellville tonight 29-7. The Tobacco Stick will keep in Litchfield as Grayson County defeats Edmonson County tonight by the final score of 14-7. Checking some other scores out there before we head out the door here. Try to get an update on the Ohio County-McLean County game. McLean was up comfortably in that ball game earlier. In fact, final score there is McLean 46, Ohio 14. No word yet on the Hancock County game. They were playing tonight against John Hardin. Trying to scroll down and see if there's going to be a result on that game. Trying to look for some others here very quickly. And third quarter score, Christian Academy of Louisville leading Owensboro 21-7. It was Cooper defeating Bardstown tonight, 35-14. We'll look at Cooper later on in the season as a district opponent for the Tigers. 21-21 is the score. Meade County, Henderson County are tied in the third quarter. Here's an interesting score, 77-66. Warren East versus Davis County. And we may want to confirm that one just to make sure. We'll, of course, have an update for you in the morning on sports on 104.3 The River. But Breckinridge County picks up their first win of the season with a 14-7 win over Fort Knox. Coming up next Friday night, we'll head down to Hawesville and Lewisport to take on the Hancock County Hornets. Coverage will begin at around 6:45 ahead of the 7 p.m. kickoff down there. Thanks to everyone to get through our opening night. It was a team effort to get through that. Thanks to Shanna Bramlett, also to L.A. Gentry and Gene Webster back in Hardinsburg to keep us running there. Once again, the final score tonight from Fort Knox High School. It was Breckinridge County 14, Fort Knox 7. For my teammates, Lee Bramlett saying good night, everybody. This is Fighting Tiger Sports from 104.3 The River and WXBC1043.com.
This has been the Breckinridge County Fighting Tigers on WXBC, brought to you by Wright Implement Company, Taylor Pharmacy, Legacy Physical Therapy, Joe Bennett Backhoe Plumbing and Rental, Irvington Gas Company, First State Bank, Breckinridge Health, the Breckinridge County Health Department, and by Brandenburg Telecom. This has been a presentation of 104.3 The River, the sports voice of Breckinridge County.